Tonight, we'll drift through the legendary halls of Pokémon League history, exploring the stories of trainers who shaped the world through their mastery. Find a comfortable position, let your breathing slow, and allow your mind to wander as we journey through the quiet tales of Elite Four members and champions whose names echo through time. From the icy determination of Lorelei to the regal presence of Cynthia, each story will gently guide you deeper into peaceful rest. There's no need to focus too hard on every detail. Just let these legendary tales carry you softly toward sleep, surrounded by the calm wisdom of Pokémon masters. In the earliest days of the Pokémon League, when the concept of Elite Four trainers was still forming into legend, 4 remarkable individuals carved their names into history. These founding masters didn't simply win battles. They established the very foundation upon which all future champions would stand. Their stories begin with cold mountain streams and ancient Germanic legends, flowing through the strength of protectors and into the shadows where spirits dwell. Lorelei stands as the first of these legendary 4. Her name carrying the gentle murmur of water across stone. The name itself reaches back through centuries to old Germanic tales of a water siren whose voice could lure travelers into peaceful surrender. In those ancient stories, the Lorelei was said to sing from a rocky outcrop along the Rhine River, her melody as beautiful as it was dangerous. The original German word combined murmuring sounds with the Celtic word for rock, creating an image of water cascading over stone in an endless, hypnotic rhythm. This connection to both water and stone reflects perfectly in her choice of Pokémon, creatures that embody the serene power of ice and the flowing grace of water types. Her signature Lapras glides through battle with the same gentle inevitability as water flowing downstream. The massive creature's song is said to carry across vast distances, much like the legendary siren from which Lorelei takes her name. When she sends out her dugong, its graceful movements mirror the way water dances around rocks in a mountain stream. Even her cloister, seemingly harsh with its spiked shell, contains the same duality as the Lorelei legend, beautiful and protective all at once. In the French versions of the early games, Lorelei speaks with a distinctly German accent, a subtle nod to her mythological origins that most players never notice, but adds depth to her character for those who listen closely. Standing beside this mistress of ice and legend is Bruno, whose name carries the weight of simplicity and strength. Unlike the complex mythological connections of his fellow Elite Four members, Bruno's identity flows directly from his purpose. His name means protector in its oldest forms, a guardian who stands between the innocent and those who would cause harm. The word itself evolved from ancient terms meaning brown, like the earth and stone, reliable and unchanging. Bruno embodies the straightforward nature of fighting types, Pokémon that rely on physical prowess and unwavering determination, rather than complex strategies or mystical powers. His Machamp demonstrates this philosophy perfectly, each of its 4 arms representing a different aspect of protection: strength, endurance, courage, and loyalty. When Bruno calls upon his Onix, The massive rock snake moves with the certainty of a landslide, unstoppable and inevitable. His Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee represent the refined arts of combat. Not violence for its own sake, but discipline channeled into protection. Bruno's calm demeanor in battle reflects the steady confidence of someone who has found his purpose and never wavers from it. His simple approach to both battle and life creates a sense of security, like standing beside an immovable mountain that has weathered countless storms. Then comes Agatha, whose name weaves together literature, mystery, and the supernatural in ways that perfectly capture her ghostly specialization. On the surface, her name connects to the famous British mystery writer Agatha Christie, whose stories often featured dark secrets hidden in plain sight. But the connections run deeper, threading through the very sounds of her name. Agatha contains echoes of ghost, aghast, and hag, creating a subtle linguistic connection to the spirit world she commands. The name appears throughout literature when writers need to invoke the image of a wise but slightly unsettling elder, from Agatha Harkness in Marvel Comics to the stern Agatha Trunchbull in Matilda. The irony lies in the name's original meaning. Agatha comes from the ancient Greek word agathos, meaning good or virtuous. This creates a beautiful contradiction, as Agatha specializes in ghost types, Pokémon often associated with mischief, fear, and the unknown. Her Gengar embodies this duality perfectly. A playful spirit that delights in harmless pranks, but possesses immense power when protecting those it cares about. Her Haunter phase shifts through battle like memories half remembered, while her Crobat represents the evolution of something once feared into something loyal and swift. Agatha's wisdom comes not from books, but from understanding the delicate balance between the world of the living and the realm of spirits. Finally, there stands Lance, the Dragon Master, whose name connects him to the knightly traditions of old. A lance was the weapon of choice for knights in fairy tales, the tool they used to face down the great dragons that threatened kingdoms. Yet Lance chose a different path, becoming not a dragon slayer, but a dragon trainer, transforming the traditional narrative into something far more beautiful. His name also carries meanings of servant and territory, suggesting someone who serves the land itself rather than seeking dominion over it. This reflects perfectly in his role as both Elite Four member and eventual champion, serving the region and its people through his strength. His Dragonite, despite its cheerful appearance, commands the power of storms and can circle the globe in mere hours. When Lance calls upon his Gyarados, the sea serpent's rage is tempered by his calm guidance, turning destructive fury into protective strength. His Aerodactyl bridges the ancient past with the present, a prehistoric dragon revived to serve in modern times. Lance's presence in battle feels like standing in the eye of a storm, surrounded by immense power held in perfect control. His cape flows like dragon wings, and his calm confidence suggests someone who has looked into the heart of legendary power and found himself worthy. These 4 trainers established more than just a battling tradition. They created the template for what it meant to be truly elite in the Pokémon world. Each represented a different aspect of mastery. Lorelei's flowing adaptation, Bruno's unwavering strength, Agatha's mystical wisdom, and Lance's noble control. Together, they formed the first Elite Four, setting a standard that would influence every region that followed. Above them all stood Blue, the first true champion of the Kanto region. His name reflected the simple color coding of the original games, where trainers were identified by their signature hues rather than complex epithets. Blue represented the coolness of water, the vastness of sky, and the calm depths of ocean trenches. As the original rival who achieved his dream of becoming champion before you could challenge him, Blue embodied the bittersweet reality that sometimes others reach the summit first. His team reflected his adaptive nature, featuring Pokémon from many different types rather than specializing in one. This versatility made him unpredictable and formidable, a trainer who could counter any strategy with the right choice at the right moment. The establishment of this first Pokémon League created a template that would echo through every region. The concept of 4 elite specialists guarding the path to a single champion became the gold standard, a structure that balanced specialized mastery with ultimate versatility. Each Elite Four member represented not just a type specialization, but a philosophy of training, while the champion demonstrated that true mastery meant transcending any single approach. In the quiet mountain halls where these original legends first proved their worth, you can almost hear the echoes of their battles. Lorelei's ice crystals still sparkle in the cold air. Bruno's steady footsteps resonate through stone corridors. Agatha's gentle laughter mingles with ghostly whispers, and Lance's dragons cast shadows that seem to dance in the flickering torchlight. These weren't just trainers who happened to be strong. They were the architects of a tradition that would inspire countless others to pursue their own paths to mastery. Their legacy flows like water down a mountainside, touching every trainer who has ever dreamed of joining the Elite Four. In their examples, future generations would learn that strength comes in many forms, that mastery requires both power and wisdom, and that the greatest trainers are those who use their abilities to protect and inspire others. As the first stars of the Pokémon League, they lit the way for all who would follow, their names becoming synonymous with the very concept of elite training. The Indigo League's formation marked the beginning of organized Pokémon competition at its highest level. Before these 4 masters took their positions, strong trainers existed in isolation, impressive but disconnected. The Elite Four structure created something greater than the sum of its parts, a progression that tested not just battling skill, but character, wisdom, and the ability to adapt under pressure. Each member served as both gatekeeper and teacher, offering lessons that went far beyond simple type matchups and battle strategies. And in the gentle darkness of sleep, their stories continue to unfold, carrying dreamers into peaceful rest, where legends walk softly and dragons soar through starlit skies. As the world grew, and expanded beyond Kanto's borders, the Pokémon League evolved with it. The discovery of Johto brought new challenges and new masters. Trainers whose names carried the weight of mental discipline and ancient traditions. These successors didn't simply replace the old guard. They enhanced and refined what came before, creating a league structure that would bridge two regions under one magnificent system. The first of these new masters was Will, a psychic specialist whose very name embodied the core of his training philosophy. To command psychic types requires tremendous willpower, the ability to focus one's mind with laser precision while maintaining the mental fortitude to withstand the overwhelming thoughts and emotions that psychic Pokémon naturally project. Will's name reflects this perfectly, representing both the strength of personal determination and the power to influence others through psychic abilities. His mastery came not from raw power, but from the disciplined cultivation of mental clarity, turning his mind into a perfectly tuned instrument capable of harmonizing with the most complex psychic energies. His Xatu stands motionless in battle, its ancient eyes seeing across time itself, past and future, flowing together in an endless stream of possibility. The mystic bird's connection to Will runs deeper than simple training. It's a meeting of minds that have both learned to see beyond the immediate moment. When he calls upon his Jinx, the ice and psychic type moves with an otherworldly grace. Its dance-like motions, channeling psychic energy through precise, ritualistic movements. His Slowbro represents the paradox of psychic mastery, achieving incredible mental power through a state of perfect calm and apparent laziness, proving that sometimes the greatest strength comes from absolute relaxation. Will's Executor showcases how psychic abilities can emerge from the most unexpected sources. The walking palm tree uses its multiple heads to process information at incredible speeds, each consciousness contributing to a collective psychic network that can overwhelm opponents through sheer mental complexity. His approach to battle reflects a deep understanding that psychic power isn't about forcing your will upon others, but rather about achieving such perfect mental harmony that reality itself bends gently around your intentions. In the shadows of Will's mental mastery lurks a familiar presence. Koga, the former gym leader who had transcended his previous role to join the Elite Four. His transformation from Fuchsia City's guardian to one of the League's ultimate challenges represents one of the most fascinating evolutions in trainer history. Koga's name draws from the Koga-ryu school of ninjutsu, an ancient martial art that emphasized stealth, deception, and the strategic use of poison. His promotion to the Elite Four wasn't simply a change in location. It was the culmination of decades spent perfecting arts that most trainers never even attempt to understand. His Fortress embodies the hidden dangers that define ninja philosophy, appearing as nothing more than a simple pine cone until it reveals its devastating, explosive capabilities. The steel and bug type represents the perfect fusion of Koga's old and new roles, maintaining his mastery of poison while adding the defensive capabilities needed to compete at the highest levels. His muck flows through battle like living shadow, its amorphous form allowing it to slip through defenses that would stop more conventional opponents. The poison type's ability to corrupt and weaken enemies reflects the ninja's preference for indirect approaches over brute force confrontation. Koga's Crobat represents perhaps the most beautiful aspect of his evolution as a trainer. The four-winged poison type achieves its final form only through deep friendship and trust, proving that even the most dangerous ninja arts can be founded on bonds of mutual respect and affection. His Venomoth dances through the air with hypnotic grace, its powder attacks creating zones of confusion and sleep that turn the battlefield into a dreamlike landscape where reality becomes uncertain. The transition from gym leader to Elite Four member required Koga to expand his understanding beyond poison types alone, incorporating broader strategic thinking while maintaining the core principles that made him formidable in the first place. His mastery of stealth extends beyond his Pokémon to his entire approach to battle, striking when least expected and disappearing before opponents can mount effective counterattacks. Then emerges Karen, the dark-type specialist whose name carries layers of meaning that shift like shadows in moonlight. In Eastern traditions, her name connects to flowers and water lilies, symbols of beauty that bloom even in murky waters, while Western interpretations link it to purity and innocence. Yet, Karen commands dark types, Pokémon associated with cunning, mischief, and the hidden aspects of nature that most people prefer not to acknowledge. This contradiction creates a fascinating tension that defines her entire approach to training and battle. Her Umbreon prowls through combat with feline grace, its dark fur absorbing light, while its rings glow with mysterious energy. The Moonlight Pokémon represents the gentle side of darkness, not evil or malicious, but simply different, finding strength in the quiet hours when others rest. Karen's Vileplume combines her floral name connections with poison-type cunning, its beautiful blooms hiding toxic spores that can incapacitate the unwary. The grass and poison type embodies the duality present in Karen's own nature, surface beauty concealing hidden depths and unexpected dangers. Her Gengar phases in and out of reality with playful malevolence, its ghostly laughter echoing through battle as it demonstrates that not all dark types are serious and brooding. Some find joy in mischief and surprise, turning battle into an elaborate game where the rules shift moment by moment. Karen's Houndoom burns with dark fire, its hellhound appearance belying a loyal nature that responds to her gentle guidance, proving that even the most fearsome Pokémon can be partners rather than weapons. Karen's philosophy extends beyond simple type specialty to encompass a broader understanding of balance. She recognizes that darkness exists not as the opposite of light, but as its complement, that shadows give depth and meaning to illumination. Her training methods emphasize this harmony, teaching her Pokémon to embrace their natural inclinations while channeling them toward protective and constructive purposes. The name Karen itself has become associated with certain demanding behaviors in modern culture, But the trainer Karen predates these associations by decades, representing instead a complex character who found strength in embracing aspects of Pokémon that others might fear or misunderstand. Her presence in the Elite Four legitimized dark types as viable partners, showing that Pokémon associated with mischief and shadows could be just as noble and worthy as any other type. Above these three masters continued the reign of Lance, whose promotion from Elite Four member to champion created a bridge between the old Kanto League and the new Johto expansion. His continued presence provided stability during a time of tremendous change, offering continuity that helped both regions adapt to their new interconnected structure. Lance's dragon mastery had only deepened during his time as champion. His understanding of these legendary creatures evolving to encompass not just their power, but their role as guardians of natural harmony. His signature Dragonite had grown even stronger through their extended partnership, its cheerful demeanor masking devastating power that could calm storms or summon them at will. The dragon and flying type served as Lance's primary ambassador to the world, demonstrating that true strength came not from intimidation, but from the confidence that made intimidation unnecessary. His three Dragonair represented different stages of dragon development, each one a living lesson in the patience required to nurture legendary power from its earliest manifestations. Lance's Gyarados continued to embody the transformative potential present in all Pokémon, its evolution from the weakest fish to one of the most feared sea serpents, serving as inspiration for trainers who started their journeys with humble partners. The water and flying type's presence in his team reminded everyone that legends could emerge from the most unexpected beginnings, that greatness often lay dormant until awakened by the right combination of training, patience, and belief. His Aerodactyl bridged past and present, its prehistoric origins connecting Lance's modern mastery to the ancient relationship between humans and dragon types that stretched back to the earliest days of civilization. The rock and flying type represented the enduring nature of the bond between trainer and Pokémon, proving that some connections transcend even the boundaries of geological time. Lance's dual role as both Kanto and Johto champion created unique challenges that required him to understand not just dragon types, but the broader political and cultural implications of his position. His decisions affected two entire regions, making him not just a skilled trainer, but a diplomat whose actions could influence the relationship between neighboring populations. This responsibility shaped his approach to both battle and leadership, emphasizing protection and stability over personal glory or advancement. The Johto League structure represented a revolutionary advancement in Pokémon competition, creating the first truly inter-regional championship system. Trainers could now challenge 8 gym leaders in either Kanto or Johto before facing the Elite Four, creating multiple paths to the same ultimate goal. This flexibility recognized that mastery could be achieved through different approaches, that there wasn't a single correct way to become strong enough to challenge the League's ultimate guardians. The Elite Four's location in the Indigo Plateau positioned them literally and figuratively between the two regions, serving as neutral ground where trainers from both areas could test their skills against the same standards. This geographic symbolism reinforced the idea that true mastery transcended regional boundaries, that the strongest trainers were those who could adapt their strategies to face any challenge, regardless of its origin. Will's psychic mastery represented the mental aspects of advanced training, the ability to think several moves ahead while maintaining perfect focus under pressure. Koga's ninja arts embodied the strategic elements, the understanding that victory often came through preparation, patience, and the willingness to use unconventional approaches. Karen's dark-type expertise highlighted the importance of embracing all aspects of Pokémon nature, even those that society might view as troublesome or dangerous. Together, these three formed a new kind of Elite Four, one that tested not just battle skills, but mental fortitude, strategic thinking, and philosophical understanding. They represented the evolution of the league system from a simple test of strength to a comprehensive evaluation of a trainer's readiness to bear the responsibilities that came with championship status. The dual region system also created new opportunities for Pokémon themselves, as species from both Kanto and Johto could now participate in the same competitive structure. This mixing of regional populations led to new training techniques, breeding strategies, and battle combinations that enriched the entire competitive scene. Trainers began to think beyond their home regions, incorporating Pokémon and strategies from neighboring areas to create teams that reflected the interconnected nature of the new league structure. In the quiet halls of the Indigo Plateau, where these masters continue their eternal watch, you can feel the weight of tradition blending with innovation. Will's meditation chambers echo with the soft hum of psychic energy. Koga's training grounds whisper with the barely audible sounds of ninja practice. Karen's darkened rooms glow with the gentle light of her Pokémon's natural luminescence. And Lance's dragon roost rumbles with the contented breathing of legendary creatures at rest. Their legacy flows like a river connecting two regions, carrying the wisdom of the past into an uncertain but promising future. As sleep begins to claim your thoughts, let their stories guide you into dreams where borders dissolve and legends walk freely between worlds, where every Pokémon finds its perfect partner and every trainer discovers their true calling under the same endless sky. The winds of change carried new legends across the vast oceans to the tropical region of Hoenn, where a completely different Elite Four emerged from the volcanic islands and coastal cities. These masters embodied the spirit of their maritime homeland, their names flowing like tide pools and resonating with the rhythm of waves against ancient shores. Here, tradition blended with rebellion, elegance danced with raw power, and the very concept of what it meant to be elite evolved once again. Sydney stands as the dark horse of this new generation, a punk rock rebel whose name carries the weight of musical rebellion and youthful defiance. His connection to the legendary Sid Vicious of punk rock fame runs deeper than simple coincidence, embodying the same raw energy and refusal to conform that defined an entire musical movement. Yet, beneath his spiky exterior and mischievous grin lies a master of dark-type strategy whose understanding of battle psychology rivals the greatest tacticians in Pokémon history. His name itself means wide meadow, suggesting vast open spaces where unconventional ideas can grow and flourish without the constraints of traditional thinking. His mighty hyena prowls through battle with the confident swagger of a creature that has never doubted its place in the world. The Dark-type hyena Pokémon embodies Sydney's philosophy that strength comes not from following established rules, but from writing your own. When he calls upon his Shiftry, the grass and Dark-type moves with the unpredictable nature of wind through trees, its fan-like hands creating gusts that can change direction without warning. His Cacturne stands like a patient sentinel in the desert of battle, its scarecrow appearance masking the precision timing that makes it such a formidable opponent. Sydney's Absol represents perhaps the most misunderstood aspect of Dark-type training. The disaster Pokémon appears wherever tragedy might strike, leading many to blame it for the very calamities it tries to prevent. Sydney's partnership with Absol demonstrates his understanding that being different or feared doesn't make something evil, that sometimes the most valuable allies are those that others are too quick to judge. His approach to training emphasizes embracing the unconventional, finding strength in strategies that others might dismiss as too risky or unorthodox. The punk-rock connection extends beyond mere aesthetic choice to encompass a deeper philosophy about challenging authority and questioning established norms. Sydney's presence in the Elite Four legitimized alternative approaches to Pokémon training, showing that success could come through paths that previous generations might never have considered. His battles feel like energetic concerts where the rules exist only to be creatively broken, where victory comes to those brave enough to think outside conventional frameworks. From rebellion, we flow into ancient wisdom with Phoebe, the ghost-type specialist whose name connects her to prophecy, moonlight, and the eternal mysteries that hover at the edge of human understanding. Her name reaches back to Greek mythology, where Phoebe was a titan associated with the moon and prophetic insight, qualities that align perfectly with ghost types and their connection to hidden knowledge and spiritual realms. The name also carries echoes of phantom and phobia, linguistic threads that weave together to create an identity perfectly suited for commanding spirits and shadows. Her Duskull hovers through battle like a harbinger of twilight, its single eye seeing truths that others prefer to keep hidden. The ghost type's childlike appearance masks ancient wisdom, representing the innocent curiosity that allows some people to perceive what others cannot. Phoebe's bonnet carries the tragic beauty of abandoned toys given vengeful life, its stitched mouth holding back emotions too powerful for the physical world to contain. The ghost type serves as a reminder that even the most painful experiences can be transformed into sources of strength when guided by understanding hands. Her sable eye scuttles through shadows with gem-bright eyes that reflect light like tiny stars, its mischievous nature balanced by deep loyalty to its trainer. The dark and ghost type represents the playful side of supernatural forces, proving that not all spirits are serious or sorrowful. Phoebe's second Duskull demonstrates her mastery over multiple individuals of the same species, each one unique in its own spiritual essence, while sharing the common bond of connection to realms beyond the physical. Phoebe's training philosophy embraces the liminal spaces between worlds, recognizing that ghost types exist partially in our reality and partially in dimensions we can barely comprehend. Her gentle demeanor creates safe harbor for spirits that might otherwise feel lost or confused, offering them purpose and companionship in exchange for their partnership in battle. The prophecy aspect of her name manifests in her uncanny ability to anticipate opponents' strategies, as if her connection to the spirit world grants her glimpses of possible futures. The Titan connection runs deeper than mythology, linking Phoebe to primordial forces that existed before human civilization began categorizing and naming the world around them. Her presence brings a sense of ancient continuity to the modern Elite Four structure, reminding everyone that some forms of power transcend technological advancement or contemporary understanding. Moving from spiritual mysteries to crystalline precision, we encounter Glacia, whose name strips away all pretense to reveal pure elemental identity. Glacial without the final syllable, her name embodies the patient, inexorable force of ice that shapes landscapes over geological time. There is no hidden meaning or cultural reference here, simply the direct acknowledgement that she has become one with the ice types she commands, her very identity merging with the elemental force she has mastered. Her Salio slides through battle with playful grace, its rotund form belying the precise control needed to manipulate ice and water with equal facility. The ice and water type represents the transitional nature of Glacia's element, solid becoming liquid, becoming vapor in an endless cycle of transformation. Her glalie floats with menacing beauty, its crystalline structure reflecting light in patterns that hypnotize opponents before devastating attacks freeze them in their tracks. Glacia's two Celio demonstrate her understanding that mastery means working with multiple partners who share similar natures but express them in unique ways. Each ice type in her team contributes a different aspect of frozen power, from the patient accumulation of snow to the sudden fury of blizzards that can reshape entire regions in a matter of hours. Her Walrein stands as the culmination of ice-type evolution, its massive tusks and thick blubber representing the perfect adaptation to environments that would be hostile to most other forms of life. The simplicity of Glacia's name reflects a broader philosophy about the relationship between trainer and element, rather than imposing human concepts onto natural forces. She has learned to think like ice itself, patient when stillness serves her purposes, and devastating when action becomes necessary. Her training methods emphasize endurance and precision, qualities that ice types naturally possess, but must be refined through careful cultivation. Her presence in battle feels like standing at the edge of a glacier, surrounded by beauty so pristine it takes your breath away, while simultaneously recognizing the enormous power held in temporary suspension. Glacia's ice types don't simply attack opponents. They transform the entire battlefield into their ideal environment, creating conditions where their natural advantages can flourish while limiting their enemies' options. From the patient mastery of ice, we sail into the adventurous spirit of Drake, whose name carries the salt spray of countless ocean voyages and the echoes of both dragons and legendary naval exploration. His name connects him to drakes, the smaller cousins of true dragons that often serve as companions to seafaring folk, while also linking him to Sir Francis Drake, the famous explorer whose maritime adventures helped map the world's oceans. This dual connection perfectly captures Drake's role as both Dragon Master and nautical adventurer, using his powerful partners to navigate both literal and metaphorical uncharted waters. His Shelgon represents the transitional stage of dragon development, its armored shell protecting the incredible transformations taking place within as it prepares for its final evolution into flight-capable form. Drake's patience with this intermediate stage reflects his understanding that true power often requires periods of apparent inactivity, times when growth happens internally rather than through visible action. His Altaria soars through battle with cloud-like grace, its dragon and flying typing allowing it to dominate aerial combat while maintaining the ethereal beauty that makes dragon types so captivating. The twin Flygon in Drake's team demonstrate his mastery over desert dragons, creatures that create sandstorms and mirages to confuse their prey. These ground and dragon types bridge the gap between earth and sky. Their ability to burrow underground and soar through the air, making them incredibly versatile in both exploration and combat. Drake's Flygon pair work in perfect coordination, their combined sand manipulation turning the battlefield into a constantly shifting landscape that favors their natural abilities. His signature Salamence embodies the realization of every dragon's ultimate dream, the achievement of true flight after countless failed attempts and unwavering determination. The dragon and flying types' incredible speed and devastating attacks make it one of the most feared Pokémon in existence. Yet, Drake's partnership with it demonstrates the gentle control that separates true masters from mere collectors of powerful creatures. Drake's seafaring background influences every aspect of his training philosophy, from his understanding of weather patterns and their effects on dragon-type behavior, to his appreciation for the patience required during long voyages. His dragons don't simply fly, they navigate, using their aerial perspective to scout ahead and identify opportunities or obstacles that ground-bound opponents might miss entirely. The naval exploration connection adds layers of meaning to Drake's role in the Elite Four, positioning him as someone who helps chart new territories in the art of dragon training. His willingness to venture into dangerous waters, both literal and metaphorical, makes him an ideal guardian for aspiring champions who must be prepared to face unknown challenges with courage and adaptability. Above these four maritime masters stand two champions whose alternating reign represents different aspects of Hoenn's cultural identity. Stephen Stone embodies the geological foundations of the region, his name connecting him directly to the steel and stone types that reflect his passion for mineralogy and archaeology. The name Stephen itself derives from the Greek word for crown creating a perfect linguistic connection to his championship status. While his surname obviously references his specialty in rock and steel type Pokémon, his Metagross hovers with the patient calculation of a living supercomputer, its steel and psychic typing combining raw defensive power with intellectual precision that few opponents can match. The massive creature's 4 brains work in perfect coordination, creating a mental network that can process battle information faster than most trainers can even perceive it. Steven's Claydol spins through combat like an ancient artifact come to life, its ground and psychic typing reflecting the deep connection between earth and mind that defines much of Steven's training philosophy. His Cradily waves through battle like a prehistoric sea anemone, its rock and grass typing representing life that has persevered through geological ages by adapting to changing conditions while maintaining its essential nature. Steven's Armaldo scuttles with the precision of ancient arthropods, its rock and bug typing bridging the gap between fossilized history and living evolution. The steel types in his team, including Skarmory and Aggron, demonstrate his understanding of how natural forces can create materials stronger than anything human technology has yet achieved. Steven's approach to training reflects his background as a researcher and collector, emphasizing the careful study of each Pokémon's unique properties and the patient development of strategies that highlight their natural strengths. His battles feel like geological processes compressed into real time, patient and inexorable forces, gradually reshaping the battlefield until opponents find themselves at a complete disadvantage. The geological passion extends beyond simple type preference to encompass a deeper philosophy about the relationship between time, pressure, and transformation. Steven understands that true strength often develops slowly, that the most valuable treasures are those that have been refined by natural processes over vast periods of time. His championship represents the culmination of patient study and careful preparation rather than sudden inspiration or natural talent alone. When Steven steps aside, Wallace brings an entirely different energy to the champion role, his name flowing like water through artistic expression and cultural celebration. The connection to water is obvious and immediate, but Wallace also carries connotations of lace clothing and artistic refinement that reflect his dual role as Elite Four member and contest coordinator. His name may derive from Anglo-Norman French, meaning foreigner, but in the context of Hoenn's aquatic culture, it suggests someone who brings outside influences that enrich rather than diminish local traditions. His Wailord glides through battle with the majestic presence of ocean royalty, its enormous size masking surprising speed and agility that can catch opponents completely off guard. The water-type whale represents the gentle power that Wallace prefers, strength that protects and nurtures rather than simply overwhelming through brute force. His Tentacruel dances through combat with hypnotic grace, its water and poison typing allowing it to control the flow of battle while maintaining the elegant movements that make Wallace's contests so mesmerizing to watch. The twin Ludicolo in Wallace's team embody the celebration and joy that he brings to both contests and battles. their water and grass typing reflecting the harmony between different elements that defines his artistic vision. These pineapple-like Pokémon dance through combat with infectious enthusiasm, proving that strength and happiness are not mutually exclusive qualities. His Milotic represents the absolute pinnacle of beauty evolution, its serpentine grace and rainbow scales, making it one of the most visually stunning Pokémon in existence. The water type's ability to calm emotions and inspire peace through its mere presence reflects Wallace's own influence on the competitive scene, where his emphasis on beauty and artistry has elevated contests to the same level of respect traditionally reserved for battles. Wallace's dual mastery of contests and battles demonstrates that true excellence transcends artificial categories, that the same qualities that make a Pokémon beautiful in performance can make it formidable in combat when guided by understanding hands. His training methods emphasize the development of natural grace and confidence, qualities that serve his partners well, whether they're performing synchronized swimming routines or engaging in high-stakes championship battles. The artistic elements of Wallace's approach have influenced an entire generation of trainers to consider the aesthetic dimensions of their partnerships, recognizing that the bond between human and Pokémon can be expressed through beauty and creativity, as well as through victory and strength. His championship represents the legitimization of alternative approaches to excellence, proving that there are many paths to the summit of Pokémon mastery. In the island breezes of Hoenn, where these maritime masters continue their eternal watch over sea and sky, you can feel the rhythm of waves against volcanic shores and the gentle movement of air through palm fronds. Sydney's rebellious laughter mingles with the sound of distant music. Phoebe's whispered conversations with spirits create a subtle harmony beneath the wind. Glacia's ice crystals tinkle like wind chimes in the tropical air, and Drake's dragons cast shadows that dance across sun-warmed beaches. Their stories flow like ocean currents, carrying dreams of adventure and discovery to distant shores where new legends wait to be born. As the gentle sound of waves lulls you toward deeper rest, let their maritime wisdom guide you into sleep as peaceful as calm seas under starlit skies, where every dream brings you closer to your own legendary adventure. Beyond the tropical warmth of Hoenn's islands, the ancient region of Sinnoh rises from mist-shrouded mountains and pristine lakes, home to legends that predate human memory. Here, in a land where mythology bleeds into reality and creation itself is said to have begun, a new Elite Four emerged, whose names carry the weight of enlightenment, earth, fire, and illumination. These guardians stand watch over mysteries that stretch back to the very foundations of the Pokémon world, their mastery extending beyond simple battle prowess into realms of philosophical understanding and cosmic awareness. Aaron begins this sacred journey, his name reaching across linguistic traditions to embody both the natural world he protects and the spiritual elevation he seeks to achieve. The connection to Arachnid reflects his mastery over bug types, those often overlooked creatures whose intricate behaviors and complex life cycles mirror the hidden patterns that govern existence itself. Yet, Aaron's Hebrew name meaning carries deeper significance, speaking of enlightenment and exaltation, the kind of transcendent understanding that comes only through patient observation of nature's smallest details. His pursuit of perfection through bug-type partnership represents a meditation on the beauty found in creatures that most people dismiss as insignificant or troublesome. His dustox flutters through battle with the grace of twilight itself, its wings catching and scattering light in patterns that seem almost hypnotic. The bug and poison type represents the dual nature of Aaron's philosophy, recognizing that even the most beautiful aspects of nature often carry hidden dangers, that true understanding requires accepting both beauty and peril as essential parts of the same whole. When he calls upon his beautifly, the contrast becomes even more apparent, as this creature embodies pure aesthetic perfection while maintaining the underlying strength that allows it to survive in a world filled with predators. Aaron's Vespican commands respect through maternal authority. Her presence on the battlefield, transforming individual combat into a complex social dynamic where strategy extends far beyond simple move selection. The bug and flying type demonstrates Aaron's understanding that true mastery often means learning to work within existing hierarchies rather than trying to dominate through brute force. His Heracross charges forward with the noble bearing of a champion, its horn gleaming as it demonstrates that bug types can be just as physically powerful as any other classification when properly trained and motivated. The pursuit of perfection that defines Aaron's training philosophy extends beyond his Pokémon to encompass his entire approach to existence. He sees each battle as an opportunity to learn something new about the intricate relationships that connect all living things, viewing his bug types not as simple tools for victory, but as teachers whose complex behaviors reveal truths about adaptation, community, and survival that can be applied far beyond the confines of competitive Pokémon training. His Drapion stands as perhaps the most fascinating example of his philosophy in action, a poison and dark type that evolved from bug origins into something fiercer and more intimidating, while retaining the essential characteristics that make arthropods such remarkable survivors. Aaron's partnership with this evolved scorpion demonstrates his belief that growth often requires abandoning preconceived notions about limitations, that true enlightenment comes from embracing transformation, even when it leads in unexpected directions. From the delicate complexity of bug types, we descend into the steady warmth of Bertha's earth mastery, her name carrying the comfortable weight of generations who have found strength in simplicity and joy in honest work. Bertha represents the archetypal grandmother figure, someone whose wisdom comes not from books or formal education, but from decades of patient experience and the kind of practical knowledge that can only be gained through living fully and authentically. Her name means bright and joyful, qualities that shine through every interaction as she approaches both battle and life with the infectious optimism of someone who has learned to find happiness in small, everyday moments. Her Whiscash rests in muddy waters with the patient contentment of a creature that has found its perfect niche its water and ground typing reflecting Bertha's own ability to adapt to changing conditions while maintaining her essential nature. The catfish Pokemon's ability to predict earthquakes through subtle environmental changes mirrors Bertha's intuitive understanding of the natural rhythms that govern both Pokemon behavior and human relationships. Bertha's golem rumbles across the battlefield with the inexorable force of a landslide, its rock and ground typing embodying the kind of strength that comes not from anger or aggression, but from absolute confidence in one's place in the world. The boulder Pokemon's ability to curl into a perfect sphere and roll at tremendous speeds demonstrates that even the most seemingly static forces can become dynamic when circumstances require action. Her Gliscor glides through combat with the easy confidence of a creature perfectly adapted to its environment, its ground and flying typing, allowing it to dominate both terrestrial and aerial battlefields with equal facility. The Fang Scorpion Pokemon represents Bertha's understanding that true mastery often means learning to thrive in multiple environments rather than specializing so narrowly that adaptation becomes impossible when conditions change. The dual Hippowdon in Bertha's team demonstrate her mastery over desert conditions and her understanding that sometimes the most effective strategy involves changing the battlefield itself rather than simply reacting to existing conditions. These ground types can summon sandstorms that transform any environment into their ideal habitat, creating situations where their natural advantages can flourish while limiting their opponent's options. Bertha's approach to training emphasizes patience, consistency, and the kind of steady progress that builds unshakable foundations over time. She understands that ground types reflect the accumulated wisdom of geological ages, that their strength comes not from sudden bursts of power, but from the patient accumulation of force that can move mountains when properly applied. Her presence in battle feels like standing on solid ground during an earthquake, surrounded by chaos but anchored by something too fundamental to be shaken. Rising from Bertha's earthbound wisdom comes Flint's passionate fire mastery, his name connecting him to the ancient spark that first brought flame to human civilization. Flint represents both the rock that creates fire through friction and the stream that can either nurture or extinguish flames, depending on the circumstances. His specialty in fire types reflects an understanding of the transformative power of controlled combustion, the way that proper application of heat can forge stronger materials, purify corrupted substances, and provide warmth that sustains life in hostile environments. His Rapidash gallops through battle with mane and tail blazing like a creature formed from pure elemental fire, its fire typing representing the wild, untamed aspect of flame that refuses to be completely controlled but can be guided by those brave enough to earn its respect. The Fire Horse Pokemon's incredible speed transforms the battlefield into a blur of motion and flame, creating a dynamic environment where quick thinking and faster reflexes determine victory or defeat. Flint's Infernape demonstrates the perfect fusion of fire and fighting types, its martial arts training channeling the destructive potential of flame into precise, controlled techniques that can overcome opponents through skill rather than raw power alone. The flame Pokemon's ability to coordinate physical combat with fire attacks creates a fighting style that is both beautiful and devastatingly effective, proving that mastery means finding harmony between seemingly opposing forces. His Flareon embodies the domesticated aspect of fire types, creatures whose flames burn with steady warmth rather than wild destruction. The evolution Pokemon's fluffy fur and gentle demeanor mask temperatures hot enough to melt steel, demonstrating Flint's understanding that the most dangerous fires are often those that appear most harmless on the surface. The presence of Drifblim in Flint's team initially seems puzzling until you understand his broader philosophy about the relationship between different elements. The ghost and flying type represents the air that feeds flames, the invisible force that can either fan fires into infernos or starve them into extinction. Flint's partnership with this balloon Pokemon demonstrates his comprehensive understanding of fire ecology, recognizing that true mastery requires knowledge of all the factors that influence combustion. His Lopunny rounds out the team with normal type versatility. Its fluffy appearance and gentle nature concealing lightning-fast reflexes and devastating kicking power. The rabbit Pokemon's presence reflects Flint's belief that fire types work best when supported by partners who can cover their weaknesses while complementing their strengths, creating balanced teams that can adapt to any challenge. Flint's training philosophy emphasizes controlled passion, the channeling of intense emotions into productive action, rather than allowing them to burn out of control. He understands that fire types respond best to trainers who can match their intensity while providing the stability and direction needed to prevent destructive outbursts. His battles feel like standing near a perfectly controlled bonfire, surrounded by warmth and light, but never threatened by the flames that dance just within reach. Completing this sacred circle stands Lucian, whose name carries the illumination of both physical light and spiritual enlightenment, the kind of clarity that allows psychic types to perceive truths hidden from ordinary consciousness. His mastery over psychic Pokemon reflects not just mental strength, but a deeper understanding of the connections that link all minds, the invisible networks of thought and emotion that influence behavior in ways most people never consciously recognize. Lucian's scholarly nature and calm demeanor create the perfect environment for psychic types to flourish, providing the mental stability and emotional balance needed to channel their incredible abilities safely and effectively. His Alakazam sits in meditation-like stillness, its massive brain processing information at speeds that make conventional thought seem glacially slow by comparison. The psychic type's ability to bend spoons with pure mental force represents just the smallest fraction of its true capabilities, which extend into realms of perception and manipulation that challenge basic assumptions about the nature of reality itself. Lucian's partnership with this evolved genius demonstrates his own intellectual capacity and his willingness to engage with forms of consciousness that operate on entirely different levels from human awareness. His Mr. Mime performs elaborate pantomimes that create invisible barriers and constructs as real as any physical obstacle. It's psychic and fairy typing, allowing it to blend mental manipulation with the kind of wonder and whimsy that makes difficult concepts accessible to to broader understanding. The barrier Pokemon's theatrical nature reflects Lucian's own ability to communicate complex ideas through demonstration and example, rather than relying solely on abstract explanation. Lucian's Girafarig represents the fascinating intersection of psychic ability and normal type stability, its dual brain structure, allowing it to process both conventional sensory information and psychic phenomena simultaneously. The long neck Pokemon's unique physiology creates a living laboratory for studying the relationship between consciousness and perception, making it an invaluable partner for someone dedicated to expanding the boundaries of psychic understanding. His Espeon demonstrates the evolution of friendship into psychic awareness, its sun-powered abilities reflecting the kind of enlightenment that comes through patient cultivation of emotional bonds and mutual understanding. The Sun Pokemon's gem-like forehead focuses psychic energy with laser precision, turning abstract mental force into concrete effects that can be measured and studied through scientific methodology. The Bronzong that anchors Lucian's team embodies the ancient wisdom of steel and psychic types. Combined, its bell-like body resonating with frequencies that can influence both physical matter and mental states. The Bronze Bell Pokemon's connection to historical artifacts and religious ceremonies adds a spiritual dimension to Lucian's psychic mastery, suggesting that true understanding requires recognition of the sacred aspects of consciousness and awareness. Lucian's approach to training emphasizes mental discipline, emotional balance, and the kind of scholarly rigor that turns supernatural phenomena into subjects for serious study and practical application. His battles feel like attending advanced lectures where abstract concepts become concrete demonstrations, where the mysteries of psychic power are revealed through careful observation and patient analysis. Above these four guardians of ancient wisdom stands Cynthia, the champion, whose name connects her to lunar mysteries and divine feminine power, embodying the kind of comprehensive mastery that can only be achieved through years of dedicated study and authentic spiritual development. Her connection to the moon goddess Artemis through her poetic epithet creates a symbolic link to the hunt, the pursuit of knowledge and truth that drives her archaeological research and her approach to Pokemon training alike. Cynthia represents the harmony between intellectual curiosity and practical application, someone whose academic achievements enhance rather than limit her effectiveness as a champion. Her Spiritomb contains the trapped souls of 108 spirits, its ghost and dark typing, creating a concentration of supernatural energy that challenges conventional understanding of what it means to be a single Pokémonday. Cynthia's ability to coordinate with such a complex entity demonstrates her mastery over the most difficult aspects of Pokémon training. Her willingness to work with partners whose nature defies easy categorization or simple control. Her Roserade dances through battle with deadly grace, its grass and poison typing allowing it to present beautiful flowers that conceal fatal toxins, embodying the duality that runs through much of Cynthia's team composition. The bouquet Pokemon's elegant movements and stunning appearance make it easy to forget that its mastery over poison makes it one of the most dangerous grass types in existence, reflecting Cynthia's understanding that true beauty often conceals hidden depths and unexpected capabilities. Cynthia's gastrodon demonstrates her appreciation for regional variation and adaptation, its water and ground typing reflecting the unique evolutionary pressures that shape Pokémon development in different environments. The sea slug Pokémon's ability to thrive in both aquatic and terrestrial conditions makes it an invaluable partner for someone whose archaeological work takes her into diverse and challenging locations around the world. Her Lucario stands as perhaps the most iconic example of the bonds that can develop between human and Pokémon when mutual respect and understanding reach their highest expression. The fighting and steel type's ability to sense and manipulate aura energy creates a direct link between trainer and partner that transcends the usual boundaries of species and communication, making it the perfect companion for someone whose empathy and intuition are as important as her strategic thinking. The Garchomp, that serves as Cynthia's signature partner, embodies raw power tempered by wisdom, its dragon and ground typing, creating a combination of elemental forces that can reshape battlefields through sheer physical presence. The Mach Pokémon's incredible speed and devastating attacks make it one of the most feared creatures in competitive battle, yet Cynthia's partnership with it demonstrates the kind of trust and mutual respect that transforms potential weapons into loyal guardians. Cynthia's training philosophy integrates her archaeological background with her championship responsibilities, treating each Pokémon as both partner and teacher, someone whose unique perspective can reveal new truths about the ancient relationships between humans and Pokémon that shaped the development of civilization itself. Her battles feel like expeditions into uncharted territory where victory comes through understanding rather than dominance, where every encounter reveals new aspects of the profound connections that make the Pokémon world so endlessly fascinating. In the misty peaks of Sinnoh, where these mythical guardians continue their eternal watch over creation's mysteries, you can hear the gentle whisper of ancient winds carrying secrets from the dawn of time. Aaron's bug types create subtle harmonies as they move through their perfect routines. Bertha's ground types rumble with the contented breathing of sleeping mountain. Flint's fires crackle with the warm comfort of hearth and home, and Lucian's psychic energies hum with the barely audible frequency of pure thought made manifest. Their wisdom flows like morning mist over sacred lakes, carrying dreamers into realms where legends walk freely and every mystery holds the promise of greater understanding. As the eternal songs of creation lull you toward deeper rest, let their stories guide you into sleep, as peaceful as mountain valleys, where time moves slowly and every moment holds the weight of infinite possibility. Across vast oceans, from the ancient mysteries of Sinnoh, lies Unova, a region that represents something entirely new in the world of Pokémon leagues. Here, tradition and innovation dance together in ways that challenge established assumptions about what it means to be elite, where names carry the weight of literary legacy and martial discipline, where darkness intertwines with fairy tales and psychic abilities blur the boundaries between reality and dream. These masters emerged from a culture that embraces change while honoring the past, creating a unique synthesis that would influence Elite Four philosophy for generations to come. Chantal begins this literary journey, her name weaving together the haunting beauty of ghost types with the storytelling traditions that define her approach to both battle and life. The name contains haunt in its very structure, perhaps even haunt all, suggesting someone whose connection to the spirit world extends beyond simple type specialty into a deeper understanding of the stories that persist long after their original tellers have passed into memory. Her Japanese name, Shikimi, adds another layer of meaning, as the character for death in Japanese creates linguistic connections to the eternal themes that run through her work as both trainer and author. Her Cophagrigus drifts through battle like a living sarcophagus, its mummy-like appearance concealing the trapped spirit of an ancient human whose memories have become part of the Pokémon's consciousness. The ghost type serves as a bridge between past and present, carrying stories from forgotten civilizations into the modern world where they can continue to teach and inspire new generations. Chantal's partnership with this ancient spirit demonstrates her understanding that ghost types are not simply echoes of the dead, but active participants in the ongoing narrative of existence. Her Chandelure flickers through combat with hypnotic grace, its ghost and fire typing, creating a mesmerizing display of light and shadow that draws opponents into its supernatural influence. The luring Pokémon embodies the seductive power of well-told stories, beautiful and captivating, but capable of consuming those who become too deeply entranced by their mysteries. Chantal's ability to coordinate with such a dangerous partner reflects her respect for the power of narrative to transform hearts and minds. The Driftblim that anchors part of her team floats through battle with the patient inevitability of a story reaching its natural conclusion, its ghost and flying typing, allowing it to observe conflicts from perspectives that ground-bound participants cannot access. The Blimp Pokémon's ability to carry both objects and living beings reflects Chantal's understanding that stories serve as vehicles for transporting ideas and emotions across barriers of time, culture, and individual experience. Her Golurk stands as perhaps the most fascinating example of her philosophy in action, an ancient automaton whose ghost and ground typing bridges the gap between artificial construction and spiritual animation. The Golem Pokémon's ability to fly, despite its massive size, demonstrates that even the most seemingly impossible stories can become reality when supported by sufficient belief and determination. Chantal's approach to training integrates her work as a novelist with her responsibilities as an Elite Four member, treating each battle as a collaborative storytelling exercise where victory comes through creating narratives compelling enough to overcome opposing strategies. Her presence in combat feels like attending a reading where the words come alive and participate actively in their own telling, where every move contributes to an unfolding story whose conclusion remains uncertain until the final moment. From literary ghost mastery, we transition into the disciplined world of martial, whose name carries the weight of martial arts tradition and the Frankish heritage that connects horses with service, strength with dedication to continuous improvement. His fighting type specialty reflects not just physical prowess, but a comprehensive philosophy about the relationship between mind, body, and spirit that transforms simple combat into a form of moving meditation. Marshall's understanding of fighting types extends beyond their obvious physical capabilities to encompass the mental discipline and emotional balance required to channel aggressive impulses into constructive action. His throw demonstrates the grappling arts in their purest form, its fighting typing allowing it to turn opponents' strength against them through precise application of leverage and timing. The judo Pokemon's ability to throw creatures many times its own size reflects Marshall's understanding that true martial arts mastery comes not from brute force, but from the intelligent application of fundamental principles that work regardless of size or strength disparities. His Sock complements this grappling expertise with striking arts, its karate-inspired fighting style, creating a dynamic contrast that keeps opponents guessing about which approach will dominate any given exchange. The karate Pokemon's disciplined training regimen mirrors Marshall's own commitment to daily practice and continuous improvement, demonstrating that excellence requires consistent effort rather than sporadic bursts of intense activity. Marshall's Machamp represents the evolution of fighting type training, from individual discipline to coordinated teamwork, its forearms allowing it to execute combinations and defensive sequences that would be impossible for creatures with more conventional anatomy. The superpower Pokemon's incredible strength serves as a reminder that martial arts can enhance natural abilities rather than replace them, that true mastery means becoming the best possible version of yourself rather than conforming to external standards. His Conkeldurr demonstrates the practical applications of fighting type training in non-combat contexts, its ability to manipulate concrete and construction materials, showing how martial arts principles can be applied to creative and constructive pursuits. The muscular Pokemon's use of concrete pillars as both tools and weapons reflects Marshall's understanding that fighting types are builders as well as warriors, creatures whose strength serves to protect and improve the world rather than simply dominating it. The presence of Mian Shao in Marshall's team showcases the flowing, graceful aspects of martial arts that emphasize speed and precision over raw power. The martial arts Pokemon's elegant movements and serene expression demonstrate that fighting types can embody peace and tranquility, even while engaged in intense physical competition, that true warriors fight not from anger or aggression, but from a deep commitment to protecting what they value most. Marshall's training philosophy emphasizes the daily discipline required to maintain peak physical and mental condition, the kind of consistent practice that transforms martial arts from simple fighting techniques into a comprehensive way of life. His battles feel like watching master craftsmen at work, where every movement serves multiple purposes and efficiency becomes a form of artistic expression. Emerging from martial discipline into psychological complexity, we encounter Grimsley, whose name weaves together the darkest threads of European fairy tale tradition with the cunning required to navigate treacherous social and political landscapes. His connection to the Brothers Grimm links him to the classical dark fairy tales that explored themes of transformation, consequence, and the hidden costs of achieving one's desires. The sly component of his name reflects his mastery of dark-type strategy, his understanding that victory often comes through indirect approaches that opponents fail to recognize until it becomes too late to counter them effectively. His scrafty swaggers through battle with the confident bearing of a street-smart survivor, its dark and fighting typing reflecting the kind of toughness that comes from navigating dangerous environments where traditional rules don't apply. The hoodlum Pokemon's ability to combine physical combat with dark-type trickery makes it an unpredictable opponent whose next move remains uncertain until the moment of execution. Grimsley's Crocodile lurks beneath the surface of conventional strategy, like a patient predator waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Its ground and dark typing, allowing it to control battlefield conditions while maintaining the element of surprise. The intimidation Pokemon's massive jaws and armored hide make it a formidable opponent in direct confrontation, but its true strength lies in its ability to manipulate circumstances until opponents find themselves at a decisive disadvantage. His Leopard stalks through combat with feline grace, its dark typing reflected in both its coloration and its preference for stealth-based tactics that keep opponents guessing about its true capabilities and intentions. The cruel Pokemon's elegant movements mask a calculating intelligence that can turn apparent weaknesses into devastating advantages when the timing is precisely right. The Bisharp, that serves as one of Grimsley's key partners, embodies the sharp edge where cunning meets violence, its dark and steel typing, creating a combination of mental manipulation and physical threat that few opponents can counter effectively. The Swordblade Pokemon's ability to command lesser dark types reflects Grimsley's own leadership qualities. His capacity to coordinate complex strategies that unfold over multiple turns. Grimsley's approach to training emphasizes the psychological aspects of competition, the understanding that battles are won and lost in the mind long before physical moves are executed. His strategies often involve creating situations where opponents defeat themselves through poor decision-making rather than being overwhelmed by superior force, reflecting his appreciation for the elegant efficiency of victory through manipulation rather than domination. His presence in battle feels like participating in a high-stakes game where the rules are known but the true objectives remain hidden, where every action carries multiple potential consequences, and success requires the ability to think several moves ahead, while maintaining the flexibility to adapt when circumstances change unexpectedly. Completing this philosophical quartet stands Caitlin, whose name carries the mysterious weight of linguistic uncertainty and forgotten history, perfectly reflecting her psychic-type specialty, and the enigmatic nature of her background and motivations. The confusion surrounding her name's etymology mirrors the way psychic abilities often operate, influencing events through mechanisms that remain unclear even to those who experience their effects directly. Some theories connect her name to concepts of purity, while others suggest meanings related to duality. But the lack of definitive evidence creates an aura of mystery that enhances rather than diminishes her her presence. Her Usharna drifts through battle like a living dream, its psychic typing, allowing it to manifest the contents of sleeping minds as tangible phenomena that can influence physical reality. The drowsing Pokemon's ability to eat dreams and transform them into mist creates a bridge between conscious strategy and subconscious inspiration, making battles feel like collaborative, lucid dreaming exercises where the boundaries between imagination and reality become fluid and permeable. Caitlin's Sigilif hovers with ancient authority, its psychic and flying typing reflecting both mental mastery and the elevated perspective that comes from viewing conflicts from above the immediate fray. The avianoid Pokemon's connection to ancient civilizations adds historical depth to Caitlin's team composition, suggesting that her psychic abilities draw upon knowledge and wisdom accumulated over countless generations. Her Reuniclus demonstrates the cellular nature of psychic energy, its ability to manipulate its own body structure, showing how mental force can reshape physical matter when properly focused and applied. The multiplying Pokemon's mathematical precision in battle reflects Caitlin's analytical approach to psychic mastery, her understanding that supernatural abilities follow consistent patterns that can be studied and refined through careful observation. The Gothitelle that anchors much of Caitlin's strategy embodies the prophetic aspects of psychic ability, its capacity to see future events, allowing it to prepare countermeasures before opponents have even decided upon their strategies. The astral body Pokemon's connection to cosmic forces reflects Caitlin's understanding that psychic abilities operate on scales that extend far beyond individual consciousness into realms where time and space become fluid. Concepts Caitlin's training philosophy emphasizes the cultivation of mental clarity and emotional balance required to channel psychic energy safely and effectively, recognizing that the power to influence minds and manipulate reality carries responsibilities that extend far beyond simple competitive advantage. Her battles feel like participating in advanced meditation practices where victory comes through achieving deeper states of consciousness rather than overwhelming opponents through brute mental force. Above these four philosophical masters stands Alder, the elder whose name connects him to both the wisdom of age and the botanical traditions that link human civilization to the natural world from which it emerged. His role as champion represents the culmination of a lifetime spent studying the relationships between humans and Pokemon, understanding that true mastery requires not just tactical knowledge, but the kind of deep wisdom that comes only through decades of patient observation and authentic engagement with the complexities of life itself. His Volcarona burns with the intensity of a miniature sun, its bug and fire typing, creating a combination of elements that seems almost mythological in its power and beauty. The sun Pokemon's ability to replace the warmth of actual sunlight makes it a creature of legendary status. Someone whose presence can literally bring light to dark places and warmth to frozen landscapes. Alder's partnership with this solar deity demonstrates his understanding that some Pokemon transcend simple type categories to become forces of nature that require reverence as well as respect. His Axelgor demonstrates the speed and precision that can emerge when bug types are trained to their absolute potential. Its shell-less form achieving velocities that blur the line between movement and teleportation. The shell-out Pokemon's sacrifice of defense for ultimate speed reflects Alder's philosophy about the choices that define both Pokemon and trainer development. The understanding that true excellence often requires abandoning safety in favor of pursuing one's authentic nature. Alder's Escavalier showcases the complementary relationship between his Axelgor's evolution and its trading partner, the knight-like Pokemon gaining the armor that its counterpart abandoned, while developing its own unique approach to combat effectiveness. The cavalry Pokemon's chivalrous bearing and steel typing reflect the noble aspects of Alder's character, his commitment to using strength in service of others rather than for personal aggrandizement. His Bouffalant charges through battle with the unstoppable momentum of natural forces channeled through disciplined training, its normal typing belying the tremendous power contained within its muscular frame and magnificent afro-like mane. The Bash Buffalo Pokemon's ability to break through virtually any defense makes it a formidable partner for someone whose approach to leadership emphasizes directness and authenticity over political maneuvering. The Braviary, that serves as one of Alder's signature partners, soars through combat with the majestic presence of a creature that has never doubted its place in the natural order, its normal and flying typing, creating a combination of reliability and freedom that perfectly reflects Alder's own approach to championship responsibilities. The valiant Pokemon's fierce loyalty and protective instincts make it an ideal partner for someone whose role requires balancing personal relationships with regional leadership obligations. Alder's training philosophy integrates his botanical knowledge with his championship experience, treating each Pokemon as both partner and teacher, whose unique perspective contributes to a deeper understanding of the natural systems that support all life. His battles feel like lessons in ecology, where victory comes through working with natural forces rather than trying to dominate them, where success requires understanding the complex relationships that connect all living things. When Alder steps aside, Iris brings a completely different energy to the championship role, her name connecting her to divine messages and rainbow bridges that span the gap between earth and sky, between human ambition and draconic wisdom. The flower connection adds layers of beauty and growth to her identity, while the iris of the eye suggests the kind of perception required to see beyond surface appearances into the deeper truths that govern dragon-type behavior and psychology. Her Haxorus cleaves through opponents with the decisive finality of a perfectly executed axe stroke. Its dragon typing combined with tremendous physical power, making it one of the most feared creatures in competitive battle. The Axe Jaw Pokemon's ability to cut through virtually any defense reflects Iris's direct approach to problem solving, her preference for addressing challenges head-on rather than trying to work around them through elaborate strategies. Iris's Druddigon demonstrates her mastery over dragons that embody raw, primal power rather than the refined elegance associated with more traditional dragon types. The cave Pokemon's rough exterior and aggressive temperament require a trainer who can appreciate strength in its most unpolished forms, someone who understands that true dragons come in many varieties and each deserves respect for its unique contributions. Heragron showcases her ability to work with Pokemon whose dragon-like qualities transcend simple type classifications, the steel and rock types' tremendous defensive capabilities, and territorial nature, making it an ideal partner for someone whose role requires protecting entire regions from various threats. The Iron Armor Pokemon's evolution from the smaller Aaron demonstrates the kind of growth and development that Iris encourages in all her partners. The Lapras, that rounds out much of Iris's strategy, brings water and ice typing to complement her dragon specialization, its gentle nature and powerful attacks, creating a balance between nurturing, care, and formidable strength that reflects Iris's own evolution from gym leader to champion. The transport Pokemon's ability to carry humans across dangerous waters makes it an invaluable partner for someone whose responsibilities require extensive travel and exploration. Iris's approach to training emphasizes the emotional bonds between trainer and dragon that transcend simple obedience or tactical coordination, recognizing that dragons respond best to partners who treat them as equals rather than tools to be wielded for personal advantage. Her battles feel like watching ancient dances where human and dragon move together in perfect harmony, where victory comes through mutual trust and shared understanding rather than dominance or manipulation. In the bustling cities and pristine wilderness of Unova, where these philosophical masters continue their exploration of new approaches to Elite Four tradition, you can hear the gentle whisper of pages turning as Chantal writes her latest novel. The rhythmic sounds of Marshall's morning training routine, the soft shuffle of cards as Grimsley practices his strategies, and the barely audible hum of psychic energy as Caitlin meditates in perfect stillness. Their innovations flow like rivers meeting the sea, carrying traditional wisdom into new territories where fresh possibilities can take root and flourish. As the gentle sounds of a region embracing change lull you toward deeper rest, let their stories guide you into sleep as peaceful as libraries, where every book holds the promise of new adventures, and every dream offers glimpses of worlds yet to be discovered. Beyond the philosophical depths of Unova, across shimmering seas where art and culture bloom like spring flowers, lies Kalos, a region where the Elite Four redefined their role as guardians of not just competitive excellence, but aesthetic beauty and cultural refinement. Here, in a land inspired by classical European elegance and artistic tradition, four masters emerged whose names carried the weight of rebellion and refinement, culinary arts and chivalric honor, ancient wisdom and diamond brilliance. These trainers transformed the very concept of what it meant to be elite, proving that true mastery encompasses not just battle prowess, but the ability to inspire, create, and elevate the human spirit through the bonds shared with Pokémonday. Malva begins this renaissance with the fierce passion of rebellion, tempered by the elegant flames of artistic expression, her name weaving together the malicious energy of Team Flare's revolutionary fervor with the flowing grace of lava that reshapes landscapes through patient persistence. The connection to slender beauty adds layers of complexity to her identity, suggesting someone whose physical elegance masks the tremendous power burning within, whose calm exterior conceals the kind of passion that can either destroy or transform, depending upon how it is channeled and controlled. Her pyroar burns with regal authority, its fire and normal typing creating a combination of elemental fury and noble bearing that reflects Malva's own evolution from revolutionary to Elite Four Guardian. The royal Pokemon's magnificent mane and powerful roar demonstrate that fire types can embody leadership and dignity rather than simple destruction. That true strength comes from the ability to inspire others rather than merely intimidating them into submission. Malva's talon flame soars through battle with the speed and precision of a master archer, its fire and flying typing allowing it to strike from unexpected angles while maintaining the grace and beauty that make fire types so mesmerizing to observe. The scorching Pokemon's ability to reach incredible velocities while wreathed in flames creates a visual spectacle that captures the attention of spectators, even as it devastates opponents through superior tactics and timing. Her Torkoal demonstrates the defensive applications of fire-type mastery, its fire typing combined with tremendous physical durability, creating a fortress-like presence that can control battlefield conditions through strategic smoke screens and sustained heat generation. The Coal Pokemon's ability to maintain high temperatures for extended periods reflects Malva's understanding that fire types excel not just in quick, decisive strikes, but in wars of attrition that test endurance and determination. The Chandelure that anchors much of Malva's strategy embodies the artistic fusion of fire and ghost typing, its elegant chandelier form creating beautiful displays of light and shadow, while wielding supernatural powers that can drain the life force from careless opponents. The luring Pokemon's hypnotic flames serve as a metaphor for Malva's own role as both artist and warrior, someone whose beauty and creativity never diminish her effectiveness in combat. Malva's approach to training integrates her background in media and communications with her responsibilities as an Elite Four member, understanding that fire types respond best to trainers who can match their passion while providing the creative outlets needed to express their natural intensity constructively. Her battles feel like watching performance art, where every move serves both tactical and aesthetic purposes, where victory becomes a collaborative, creative expression between trainer and Pokémonday. From the fierce artistry of fire, we flow into the refined sophistication of Seabold, whose name connects him to both the natural sweetness of crabapple fruits and the bold confidence required to excel in the demanding world of culinary arts. His mastery over water types reflects not just tactical understanding, but a deep appreciation for the fluid grace and adaptive versatility that characterize both superior cooking and effective Pokémon training the ability to work with natural ingredients and enhance their essential qualities rather than overwhelming them with excessive manipulation. His Klawitzer commands the battlefield like a master chef, orchestrating a complex meal. Its water typing combined with tremendous special attack power, creating devastating combinations that can overwhelm opponents through precisely timed barrages. The Howitzer Pokemon's ability to launch water attacks with artillery-like force demonstrates Seabold's understanding that water types can be just as aggressive and decisive as any other classification when properly trained and motivated. Seabold's Gyarados represents the transformation of humble ingredients into magnificent final products. Its evolution from the weakest fish into one of the most feared sea serpents, serving as a perfect metaphor for the culinary arts, where simple components become extraordinary through skill, patience, and creative vision. The atrocious Pokemon's tremendous power and intimidating presence mask the gentle care required to guide its development from Magikarp's fragile beginnings. His Barbaracle demonstrates the importance of coordination and teamwork in both cooking and Pokemon training. Its rock and water typing, creating a unique combination that requires careful balance to achieve optimal effectiveness. The collective Pokemon's multiple hands working in harmony reflect Seabold's philosophy that the best results come from coordinated effort rather than individual brilliance. That true mastery means orchestrating complex interactions between different elements and personalities. The Starmie that rounds out much of Seabold's strategy showcases the precision and timing that define both superior cuisine and effective water-type training. Its psychic and water typing, allowing it to anticipate opponent strategies while maintaining the fluid adaptability that makes water types so versatile in diverse situations. The mysterious Pokemon's gem-like core pulses with the same rhythm that guides Seabold's approach to both cooking and competition. Seabold's training philosophy emphasizes the patient cultivation of natural talents, combined with rigorous technical training, recognizing that water types, like fine ingredients, achieve their greatest potential when their essential qualities are enhanced rather than suppressed. His battles feel like watching master classes in culinary arts, where every technique serves multiple purposes and efficiency becomes a form of artistic expression. Rising from culinary sophistication to knightly honor, we encounter Wickstrom, whose name carries the ancient weight of Nordic traditions and the herbal wisdom that sustained medieval communities through harsh seasons and difficult times. His connection to the Time family creates linguistic links to concepts of courage, chivalry, and the kind of steadfast reliability that defined the knightly orders of European tradition, while his steel-type specialty reflects the technological mastery and defensive prowess that made armored knights the dominant military force of their era. His Klefki jangles through battle with deceptive cheerfulness, its steel and fairy typing creating an unusual combination that can surprise opponents who underestimate the power contained within its small, key-like form. The Key Ring Pokemon's ability to collect and organize keys reflects Wickstrom's role as guardian of ancient traditions someone who holds the knowledge needed to unlock the deeper mysteries of Steel-type training and chivalric philosophy. Wickstrom's Probopass demonstrates the magnetic principles that govern both Steel-type behavior and the moral compass that guides knightly conduct. It's rock and steel typing, creating a combination of stability and strength that can anchor entire strategies while providing reliable defensive support. The Compass Pokemon's ability to orient itself, regardless of environmental conditions, reflects Wickstrom's unwavering commitment to the ethical principles that define true chivalry. His Scizor embodies the perfection of Steel-type evolution, its transformation from the agile Scyther into an armored powerhouse, demonstrating how proper training can enhance natural abilities while adding new capabilities that expand tactical options. The Pinsir Pokemon's red coloration and metallic sheen create a visual representation of the nobility and strength that Wickstrom seeks to embody through his partnership with Steel types. The Aegislash that serves as Wickstrom's signature partner represents the ultimate fusion of offensive and defensive capabilities. Its ability to shift between sword and shield forms, creating a dynamic fighting style that adapts to changing battlefield conditions while maintaining the noble bearing that defines knightly combat. The Royal Sword Pokemon's legendary status as a determiner of royal worthiness adds layers of mythological significance to its role in Wickstrom's team composition. Wickstrom's approach to training emphasizes the development of honor, loyalty, and protective instincts that transform simple battle techniques into expressions of chivalric virtue, understanding that Steel types respond best to trainers who embody the same steadfast reliability and noble purpose that characterize medieval knighthood at its finest. His battles feel like witnessing tournaments where every clash of steel rings with the weight of ancient traditions and timeless values. Completing this cultural renaissance stands Drosna, whose name weaves together the ancient wisdom of dragon trees with the feminine power of legendary serpents, creating an identity that bridges botanical knowledge with mythological understanding. Her mastery over dragon types reflects not just tactical expertise, but a deep connection to the primordial forces that shaped the world before human civilization began imposing artificial boundaries on natural phenomena, the kind of wisdom that comes only through patient observation of patterns that unfold over geological timescales. Her Drudagon demonstrates her appreciation for dragons that embody raw, unrefined power, rather than the elegant sophistication associated with more traditional dragon types. Its rough exterior and cave-dwelling nature, requiring a trainer who can see beauty and strength expressed through simplicity rather than elaborate displays. The cave, Pokemon's territorial instincts and protective nature reflect Drosna's understanding that true dragons serve as guardians of natural places and ancient wisdom. Drosna's Altaria soars through battle with the serene grace of clouds drifting across mountain peaks. Its dragon and flying typing combined with its cotton-like plumage, creating a fascinating contrast between elemental power and gentle beauty. The humming Pokemon's melodious voice adds an auditory dimension to combat that can calm aggressive opponents while inspiring allies to greater heights of performance and coordination. Her Dragolge demonstrates the toxic aspects of dragon mastery that most trainers prefer to avoid, acknowledging its poison and dragon typing, creating a combination of elemental forces that can corrupt as well as empower, depending upon how they are channeled and controlled. The Mock Kelp Pokemon's ability to blend camouflage with devastating attacks reflects Drasna's understanding that true dragons encompass all aspects of natural power, both creative and destructive. The Noivern that anchors much of Drasna's strategy embodies the nocturnal mysteries of dragon types, its flying and dragon typing combined with sound-based attacks, creating a sensory experience that overwhelms opponents through multiple channels simultaneously. The Sound Wave Pokemon's echolocation abilities allow it to navigate and fight effectively in complete darkness, reflecting Drasna's comfort with the unknown and mysterious aspects of dragon training. Drasna's training philosophy integrates her grandmother-like wisdom with deep respect for the ancient forces that dragons represent, treating each partnership as an opportunity to learn about the fundamental patterns that govern natural systems and evolutionary development. Her battles feel like lessons in natural history, where every move reveals new aspects of the complex relationships between different forms of life and environmental pressures. Above these four artistic masters stands Diantha, the champion whose name combines the divine authority of Zeus with the delicate beauty of flowers, creating an identity that perfectly captures the balance between tremendous power and aesthetic refinement that defines the Kalos region's approach to Pokemon mastery. Her connection to diamonds adds layers of brilliance and durability to her character, suggesting someone whose beauty conceals the kind of strength that can only be created through tremendous pressure applied over extended periods of time. Her Hawlucha demonstrates the theatrical aspects of Pokemon training that Kalos has elevated to high art. Its fighting and flying typing combined with its luchador-inspired design, creating a performance style that entertains spectators while devastating opponents through superior agility and technique. The wrestling Pokemon's mask and cape add visual drama to every move, transforming simple combat into elaborate, choreographed displays that blur the boundaries between sport and entertainment. Diantha's Tyrantrum embodies the regal power of ancient dragons revived through modern science, its rock and dragon typing, creating a combination of geological stability and elemental fury that few opponents can withstand through direct confrontation. The Despot Pokemon's crown-like frill and massive jaws create an imposing presence that commands respect and admiration even from those who oppose it in battle. Her Aurorus represents the serene beauty of ice ages, preserved in crystalline form. Its rock and ice typing combined with its elegant neck and sail-like appendages, creating a creature of stunning visual appeal whose gentle nature masks tremendous defensive capabilities. The Tundra Pokemon's ability to create auroral displays adds atmospheric beauty to every appearance, transforming battlefields into galleries where art and competition merge seamlessly. The Gourgeist that provides strategic depth to Diantha's team showcases her appreciation for the seasonal cycles and harvest traditions that connect modern Kalos to its agricultural roots, its ghost and grass typing, creating unique tactical options while maintaining the celebratory spirit that characterizes the region's cultural identity. The pumpkin Pokemon's size variations add complexity to team composition decisions, requiring strategic thinking that extends beyond simple type matchups. The Gardevoir, that serves as Diantha's signature partner, embodies the perfect fusion of psychic power and fairy-type grace. Its ability to create black holes for defensive purposes, demonstrating the tremendous forces that can be channeled through emotional bonds strong enough to transcend physical limitations. The Embrace Pokemon's elegant appearance and protective instincts reflect Diantha's own role as both performer and guardian, someone whose responsibility extends far beyond personal achievement to encompass the welfare of entire regions. Diantha's approach to training integrates her background in film and entertainment with her championship responsibilities, understanding that the most effective partnerships are those that inspire others while achieving tactical objectives. That true mastery means creating experiences that elevate everyone involved rather than simply proving individual superiority. Her battles feel like attending premieres where every moment has been carefully crafted to create maximum emotional impact while maintaining the competitive integrity that makes victory meaningful. In the elegant salons and countryside chateau of Kalos, where these artistic masters continue their exploration of beauty and strength in perfect harmony, you can hear the gentle crackling of Malva's hearth fires, the soft sounds of Seabold preparing exquisite meals, the rhythmic ring of Wickstrom's training exercises, and the barely audible whisper of ancient wisdom as Drasna tends her garden of dragon knowledge. Their legacy flows like wine from carefully tended vineyards, carrying the essence of cultural refinement into every corner of the Pokémon world, where artistry and competition can coexist in elegant balance. As the gentle sounds of a region that has learned to find beauty and strength lull you toward deeper rest, let their stories guide you into sleep as peaceful as moonlit galleries, where every masterpiece holds the promise of inspiration and every dream offers glimpses of perfect harmony between power and grace. Far across the vast Pacific, where ancient volcanic forces still shape the land, and ocean breezes carry the songs of countless generations, lies Alola, a region that transformed the very concept of Elite Four mastery. Through the wisdom of island traditions and the deep connection between land, sea, and sky. Here, in a paradise where Pokémon and humans have learned to live in perfect harmony with natural forces, 4 masters emerged, whose names carry the weight of Polynesian heritage and the patient strength of trees that have weathered countless storms while providing shelter, sustenance, and guidance to all who seek their protection. Hala stands as the foundation of this island wisdom, his name connecting him to the Hala tree, that most essential companion to Pacific Island life after the coconut palm. The Hala tree provides everything a community needs to survive and flourish, its sturdy fruit and nutritious seeds offering sustenance during difficult seasons, while its wide, squat trunk and deep root system create stability that can withstand the most violent storms. This natural resilience perfectly reflects Hala's role as both Elite Four member and Island Kahuna, someone whose strength comes not from aggression or intimidation, but from the kind of deep-rooted stability that allows others to find safety and support in his presence. His Hariyama demonstrates the gentle giant philosophy that defines much of Hala's approach to fighting type training. Its sumo-inspired design and massive bulk, creating devastating power that is always tempered by wisdom and restraint. The arm thrust Pokemon's ability to use its opponent's momentum against them reflects the Aikido principles that run through much of Alolan martial arts. The understanding that true strength often means redirecting force rather than opposing it directly through brute confrontation. Hala's Beware embodies the deceptive nature of strength that appears gentle on the surface, but can be overwhelming when fully expressed. Its normal and fighting typing combined with its teddy bear appearance, creating a fascinating contrast between apparent harmlessness and incredible physical power. The strong arm Pokemon's hugging attacks can crush opponents despite being motivated by affection rather than malice, demonstrating Hala's understanding that fighting types express their nature through physical contact that can be both nurturing and devastating. His Crabominable showcases the adaptation of familiar creatures to new environments, its fighting and ice typing reflecting the way that Alolan variants develop unique characteristics while maintaining the essential qualities that define their species. The woolly crab Pokemon's evolution from the tropical Crabrawler into a creature adapted for snowy mountain peaks demonstrates the flexibility and resilience that characterize successful island communities. The Machamp that anchors much of Hala's strategy represents the culmination of fighting type development, its 4 arms, allowing it to execute complex combinations while maintaining the defensive capabilities needed to protect itself and others from multiple threats simultaneously. The superpower Pokemon's incredible strength serves as a reminder that true power should always be used in service of community welfare rather than personal aggrandizement. Hala's training philosophy integrates the Haka war dance traditions of Polynesian culture with modern fighting type techniques, understanding that the most effective martial arts are those that connect physical prowess with spiritual awareness and cultural identity. His battles feel like participating in ancient ceremonies where every movement carries meaning beyond tactical advantage, where victory becomes a celebration of heritage and community values that extend far beyond individual achievement. The connection to the Haka dance runs deeper than simple cultural reference, linking Hala to the warrior traditions that sustained Pacific Island communities through centuries of challenge and change. His presence in battle creates the same sense of unified purpose and collective strength that characterizes traditional war dances, transforming individual combat into expressions of community, identity, and shared values. From the sturdy wisdom of fighting types, we drift into the moonlit realm of Olivia, whose name weaves together the olive trees of Mediterranean tradition with the olivine minerals that connect Earth to cosmic forces, creating an identity that bridges terrestrial stability with celestial mystery. Her connection to olivine basalt, that material collected by astronauts during lunar expeditions, adds layers of otherworldly significance to her rock-type specialty, suggesting someone whose earthbound mastery extends into realms where gravity becomes fluid and stone can float freely through infinite space. Her lichen rock prowls through battle with the patient intensity of a werewolf, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, its rock typing combined with its lupine nature, creating a fascinating blend of geological stability and predatory grace. The wolf Pokemon's connection to lunar cycles reflects Olivia's own relationship with natural rhythms and cosmic forces, the understanding that rock types respond to environmental pressures that operate on scales far greater than immediate battlefield conditions. Olivia's Probopass demonstrates the magnetic principles that govern both mineral formation and the directional awareness that allows travelers to navigate safely across vast oceanic expanses. Its rock and steel typing, combined with its compass-like appearance, creating a living representation of the relationship between Earth and sky. The compass Pokemon's ability to orient itself regardless of environmental conditions reflects the navigational skills that allowed Polynesian voyagers to settle distant islands using only natural signs and celestial observations. Her Gigalith embodies the patient accumulation of geological forces over millions of years, its ability to store and release solar energy, demonstrating how rock types can serve as batteries that capture environmental energy and transform it into devastating attacks when circumstances require action. The compressed Pokemon's crystalline structure reflects the kind of beauty that emerges when natural processes are allowed to unfold without interference over vast periods of time. The Carbink that provides strategic depth to Olivia's team showcases the precious nature of rock types that transcend simple utility to become objects of wonder and admiration. Its rock and fairy typing, creating unique tactical options while maintaining the sparkling beauty that makes certain minerals so highly valued. The jewel Pokemon's ability to create diamonds under pressure reflects Olivia's understanding that the most valuable treasures are often those that emerge from the most challenging circumstances. Olivia's approach to training emphasizes the patient cultivation of natural beauty, combined with respect for the tremendous forces that shape geological development over cosmic timescales, recognizing that rock types embody the accumulated wisdom of planetary evolution and the kind of endurance that allows life to persist through catastrophic changes. Her battles feel like witnessing the slow dance of continental drift, compressed into real time, where every move reflects the vast patience and inevitable power of geological processes. The lunar connection adds mystical dimensions to Olivia's rock mastery, suggesting that her understanding extends beyond terrestrial geology into the gravitational relationships that govern planetary systems and the tidal forces that shape both ocean currents and emotional rhythms. Her presence creates the same sense of cosmic perspective that comes from viewing Earth from space, where individual concerns dissolve into awareness of the larger patterns that connect all existence. Drifting from geological mystery into supernatural sweetness, we encounter acerola, whose name carries the bright flavor of tropical cherries, while concealing depths of meaning that range from adorable innocence to terrifying supernatural power. This duality perfectly captures the essence of her ghost-type specialty. The understanding that spirits exist in realms where conventional categories like good and evil, harmless and dangerous, become fluid and unpredictable depending upon perspective and circumstance. Urbanet embodies the tragic beauty of abandoned toys, transformed by powerful emotions into supernatural entities, its ghost typing allowing it to channel the pain of rejection into protective instincts that defend other discarded creatures from similar abandonment. The marionette Pokémon's stitched mouth and button eyes create a visual representation of childhood innocence, corrupted by adult neglect, demonstrating Acerola's understanding that ghost types often emerge from situations where love and care should have been present but were absent. Acerola's Driftblim floats through battle with the patient inevitability of a spirit that has learned to accept its ethereal nature, while finding joy in the freedom that comes from transcending physical limitations. Its ghost and flying typing, creating unique tactical advantages while maintaining the playful spirit that characterizes healthy approaches to supernatural phenomena. The blimp Pokémon's ability to carry passengers reflects Acerola's role as a guide between the worlds of the living and the dead, someone who helps others navigate spiritual territory that can be beautiful or terrifying, depending upon the traveler's intentions and preparation. Her Delmise demonstrates the connection between ghost types and the maritime history that defines much of a lowland culture. Its ghost and grass typing, reflecting the way that sunken ships become artificial reefs that support new forms of life while serving as monuments to human ambition and the ocean's ultimate authority. The Sea Creeper Pokémon's anchor and wheel components create a visual representation of the relationship between human technology and natural forces, showing how ghost types can preserve important memories while adapting to changed circumstances. The palisand that anchors much of Acerola's strategy showcases the playful aspects of ghost-type behavior that can transform innocent beach activities into supernatural encounters. Its ghost and ground typing, allowing it to manipulate sand and create structures that exist partially in physical reality and partially in spiritual dimensions. The Sandcastle Pokémon's ability to control beach environments reflects Acerola's understanding that ghost types often influence the world through indirect methods that appear coincidental to those who don't recognize their supernatural nature. Acerola's training philosophy integrates her role as a trial captain with her deep understanding of Alolan spiritual traditions, recognizing that ghost types serve as bridges between past and present, between the living and the departed, between the world as it appears and the deeper realities that shape all existence. Her battles feel like participating in ceremonies where every action honors both the spirits that have passed and the living beings who continue their journeys, where victory becomes a celebration of continuity rather than dominance. The The cherry connection adds layers of sweetness and nourishment to her ghost mastery, suggesting that supernatural encounters can be sources of joy and growth, rather than fear and confusion when approached with proper respect and understanding. Her presence creates safe space for exploring the mysteries of existence without losing touch with the simple pleasures that make life worth living. Completing this island circle soars Kahili, whose name carries the lightness of feathers and the precision of flight, connecting her to both the birds that navigate vast oceanic distances and the golf courses where precision and patience determine success. Her flying type specialty reflects not just aerial mastery, but the kind of elevated perspective that comes from viewing the world from above, where individual concerns resolve into broader patterns and the connections between distant places become visible and meaningful. Her toucanon demonstrates the precision and power that can emerge when flying types develop specialized techniques for specific environments. Its normal and flying typing combined with its massive beak, creating devastating attacks that can penetrate virtually any defense through superior accuracy and timing. The cannon, Pokemon's ability to heat its beak to tremendous temperatures, adds fire-type capabilities to its arsenal, reflecting Kahili's understanding that true mastery often means transcending simple type categories to develop unique tactical approaches. Kahili's Pelipper embodies the maritime traditions that connect all Pacific Island communities, its water and flying typing allowing it to serve as both aerial scout and aquatic support, while maintaining the endurance needed for long-distance travel across open ocean. The waterbird Pokemon's ability to carry supplies and messages makes it an invaluable partner for someone whose responsibilities require extensive travel between widely separated island communities. Her Altaria soars through battle with the serene grace of clouds drifting across tropical skies, its dragon and flying typing, creating a fascinating combination of elemental power and ethereal beauty that can surprise opponents who underestimate its capabilities based on its gentle appearance. The humming Pokemon's melodious voice adds an auditory dimension to aerial combat that can calm aggressive opponents while inspiring allies to greater heights of coordination and performance. The Mandibus that provides strategic depth to Kahili's team showcases the scavenging aspects of flying type ecology that most trainers prefer to avoid acknowledging. Its dark and flying typing creating unique tactical options while maintaining the essential role that cleanup specialists play in healthy ecosystems. The Bone Vulture Pokemon's ability to craft armor from scavenged materials reflects the resourcefulness and adaptability that characterize successful island communities. Kahili's approach to training integrates her background in professional golf with her responsibilities as Elite Four member, understanding that flying types respond best to trainers who appreciate the patience, precision, and mental discipline required to excel in activities where small errors can have dramatic consequences. Her battles feel like watching championship golf tournaments where every shot requires careful calculation of wind conditions, terrain features, and psychological factors that influence performance under pressure. The golf course connection adds layers of precision and strategic thinking to her flying mastery, suggesting that aerial combat requires the same kind of mental discipline and environmental awareness that characterizes professional golf at its highest levels. Her presence creates the same sense of calm focus that allows great golfers to maintain their composure even when competing under intense pressure for important championships. Above these four island guardians stands no single champion, for Alola represents a unique experiment in Pokémon League structure, where the challenger becomes the first champion through their own journey rather than defeating an established title holder. This revolutionary approach reflects the island region's commitment to growth and change, the understanding that true leadership emerges through personal development rather than simply replacing existing authority figures with new ones who maintain the same basic structures and approaches. The absence of a traditional champion creates space for new forms of excellence to emerge, recognizing that different communities may require different types of leadership, depending upon their unique circumstances and cultural values. The island trial system that precedes the Elite Four challenge emphasizes the development of well-rounded skills and cultural understanding rather than simple battle prowess, creating champions who serve as ambassadors for their entire regions rather than just skilled combatants. This innovative structure influenced the development of Elite Four traditions throughout the Pokémon world, demonstrating that established systems can be modified and improved without losing their essential character or effectiveness. The success of Alola's approach encouraged other regions to examine their own traditions and consider whether changes might enhance rather than diminish the value of their competitive structures. In the trade winds that carry the fragrance of plumeria across pristine beaches, where these island masters continue their eternal watch over paradise, you can hear the gentle rhythm of waves against volcanic shores, the soft whisper of palm fronds dancing in tropical breezes, the distant sound of traditional drums echoing across moonlit lagoons, and the barely audible songs of flying types as they navigate by starlight across infinite oceanic expanses. Their wisdom flows like warm currents that connect distant islands, carrying the essence of Pacific harmony into every corner of the Pokémon world, where community values and individual excellence can coexist in perfect balance. As the gentle sounds of a region that has learned to find strength in unity lull you toward deeper rest, let their stories guide you into sleep as peaceful as tropical nights, where every star holds the promise of safe navigation, and every dream offers glimpses of islands where all beings live together in harmony beneath endless skies. Beyond the gentle waves of Alola's tropical paradise, across misty seas where ancient legends sleep beneath rolling hills and modern cities pulse with championship energy, lies Galar, a region that revolutionized the very concept of Elite Four competition by transforming it into a grand tournament where gym leaders and rivals compete alongside each other for the chance to challenge the ultimate champion. Here, in a land where tradition meets innovation and the roar of crowds mingles with the whisper of ancient magic, 3 generations of champions emerged whose names carry the weight of natural determination, culinary wisdom, and familial honor. Leon stands at the center of this modern revolution, his name blooming with the persistent strength of dandelions, those humble flowers that appear fragile but possess the determination to crack through concrete and flourish in the most challenging environments. The connection to dandelion symbolism runs deeper than simple botanical reference, linking Leon to concepts of power, perseverance, and the kind of determination that refuses to be defeated regardless of circumstances. In the language of flowers, dandelions represent wishes coming true through persistent effort, the understanding that true champions are made not through single moments of brilliance, but through countless small victories accumulated over years of dedicated training. His Charizard soars through battle with the majestic presence of a creature that has transcended its humble origins to become the embodiment of draconic power. Without actually being a dragon type, it's fire and flying typing, creating devastating combinations while maintaining the approachable warmth that makes it beloved by trainers throughout the world. The Flame Pokemon's ability to Gigantamax transforms it into a living mountain of fire that dominates battlefields through sheer presence as much as tactical superiority, reflecting Leon's own ability to inspire both allies and opponents through the force of his personality. Leon's Dragapult demonstrates his mastery over the most mysterious aspects of dragon training, its dragon and ghost typing, creating a combination of elemental fury and supernatural stealth that few opponents can counter effectively. The stealth Pokemon's ability to launch Dreepy from its head like living missiles adds layers of strategic complexity to every encounter, transforming battles into elaborate tactical exercises where victory requires both quick thinking and long-term planning. His Haxorus cleaves through opposition with the decisive finality of an perfectly executed axe stroke, its pure dragon typing representing Leon's understanding that sometimes the most effective approach involves embracing simple, direct strategies rather than overcomplicating situations with unnecessary tactical flourishes. The Axejaw Pokemon's tremendous attack power makes it capable of ending battles in single decisive strikes when circumstances align properly. The Aegislash, that serves as one of Leon's key partners, embodies the perfect fusion of offensive and defensive capabilities. Its steel and ghost typing combined with its ability to shift between sword and shield forms, creating a dynamic fighting style that adapts to changing battlefield conditions while maintaining the royal bearing that befits a champion's signature. Pokemonday. The Royal Sword Pokemon's legendary status as a determiner of worthiness adds mythological weight to its presence on Leon's team. Leon's Mr. Rhyme demonstrates his appreciation for Pokemon that combined battle effectiveness with entertainment value, its ice and psychic typing, creating unique tactical options while maintaining the theatrical flair that makes Galar's tournament system so engaging for spectators. The comedian Pokemon's tap dancing attacks add visual spectacle to combat while delivering devastating ice-type damage that can freeze opponents in place. The Inteleon that rounds out much of Leon's strategy showcases the evolution of water types from simple aquatic creatures into sophisticated agents capable of precision strikes from incredible distances. Its water typing combined with its sniper-like abilities, creating opportunities for tactical advantage that extend far beyond direct confrontation. The secret agent Pokemon's cool demeanor and calculated approach to combat reflect Leon's own ability to remain calm under pressure while executing complex strategies. Leon's training philosophy integrates his natural charisma with comprehensive understanding of diverse Pokemon types and abilities, recognizing that championship-level competition requires not just individual excellence, but the ability to inspire others to achieve their own potential. His battles feel like attending grand performances where every participant contributes to creating experiences that transcend simple victory or defeat to become celebrations of the bonds between humans and Pokémonday. The Dandelion connection extends beyond mere symbolism to encompass Leon's role as someone who makes championship dreams accessible to anyone willing to put in the necessary work, proving that greatness can emerge from humble beginnings when nurtured with proper care and attention. His presence transforms competitive Pokemon training from exclusive pursuit reserved for the naturally gifted into achievable goal for anyone with sufficient determination and proper guidance. From Leon's modern championship energy, we drift back through time to discover Mustard, Galar's original champion, whose name carries the golden warmth of ancient spices and the accumulated wisdom of someone who has learned to balance strength with teaching, competition with mentorship. His connection to the mustard plant reflects not just his signature yellow coloration, but his role as someone who adds flavor and enhancement to every situation, transforming simple encounters into memorable experiences that continue to influence participants long after the immediate moment has passed. His Mienshao flows through battle with the graceful precision of a master martial artist, whose every movement serves multiple purposes simultaneously. Its fighting, typing, combined with its flowing movements, creating a combat style that appears almost like dance until opponents experience the devastating effectiveness of its perfectly timed strikes. The martial arts Pokemon's serene expression and elegant posture reflect Mustard's own evolution from competitive champion to wise teacher, whose greatest victories come through inspiring others. Mustard's Komodo demonstrates his mastery over dragon types that embody both physical power and cultural significance. Its dragon and fighting typing creating a combination of elemental fury and martial discipline that few opponents can match through direct confrontation. The scaly Pokemon's ability to create sound-based attacks through its metallic scales adds auditory dimensions to combat while honoring the traditional aspects of dragon lore that connect these creatures to ancient ceremonies and cultural celebrations. His Urshifu represents the pinnacle of martial arts evolution, its fighting, and dark or water typing, depending upon training style, reflecting Mustard's understanding that true mastery means choosing appropriate techniques for specific circumstances rather than relying on single approaches, regardless of conditions. The Wushu Pokemon's ability to strike with such precision that it bypasses conventional defenses demonstrates the level of skill that can be achieved through decades of dedicated practice under proper guidance. The slow bro that provides strategic support to Mustard's team showcases his appreciation for Pokémon, whose effectiveness comes through patience and careful timing rather than overwhelming speed or power. It's water and psychic typing, creating unique tactical opportunities while maintaining the relaxed demeanor that characterizes wise teachers who have learned not to rush important processes. The hermit crab Pokémon's evolution through symbiosis reflects the collaborative nature of effective teaching relationships. Mustard's training philosophy integrates his championship experience with his commitment to developing the next generation of trainers, understanding that true legacy comes not through individual achievements, but through the success of those who follow in your footsteps and eventually surpass your accomplishments. His dojo serves as sanctuary where competitive intensity can coexist with mutual support and genuine care for each participant's growth and development. The mustard spice connection adds layers of enhancement and preservation to his teaching approach, suggesting that his influence helps bring out the natural flavors already present in his students, rather than imposing external characteristics that conflict with their authentic nature. His presence creates the same kind of warmth and comfort that comes from perfectly seasoned food, familiar yet enhanced in ways that make ordinary moments feel special and memorable. Working alongside Mustard stands Honey, whose name carries the sweetness of natural collaboration and the golden warmth of partnerships that enhance rather than diminish individual strengths. Together with Mustard, they form the honey-mustard combination that adds both flavor and nutrition to every interaction, demonstrating how effective partnerships can create results that exceed what either participant could achieve independently, while maintaining their unique characteristics and contributions. Honey's Vespiquen commands respect through maternal authority and organizational excellence. Its bug and flying typing, combined with its role as queen of an elaborate social structure, creating a living example of how individual strength can be multiplied through effective leadership and community cooperation. The Beehive Pokémon's ability to coordinate complex group activities while maintaining direct combat effectiveness reflects Honey's own role in managing the dojo's daily operations while contributing to training activities. Her Ribombi demonstrates the connection between beauty and effectiveness that characterizes much of her approach to Pokémon training, its bug and fairy typing creating unique tactical combinations while maintaining the delicate grace that makes fairy types so appealing to watch in both combat and casual interaction. The bee fly Pokémon's ability to gather and distribute pollen reflects Honey's role in creating connections between different aspects of dojo life. The Appleton, that serves as one of Honey's signature partners, embodies the nurturing aspects of her personality, its grass and dragon typing combined with its apple pie appearance, creating a Pokémon that provides both sustenance and protection to those who need support. The apple pie Pokémon's ability to create sweet aromas that calm aggressive opponents reflects Honey's talent for diffusing tense situations through gentle intervention rather than direct confrontation. Honey's training philosophy emphasizes the importance of creating supportive environments where all participants can flourish according to their natural tendencies and abilities, recognizing that effective teaching requires understanding each individual's unique needs and adjusting approaches accordingly rather than applying universal methods regardless of circumstances. From the collaborative sweetness of dojo life, we venture into the competitive wilderness with Peony, the former champion whose name blooms with the courage and honor that sustained him through the complexities of serving his region while maintaining loyalty to family relationships that sometimes conflicted with political necessities. His connection to peony flowers reflects both the bravery required to make difficult decisions and the good fortune that comes from maintaining authentic relationships even when external pressures encourage compromise or abandonment of personal values. His Kaparaja demonstrates his mastery over steel types that embody both tremendous physical power and the kind of reliability that makes them invaluable partners for long-term projects and challenging expeditions. Its steel typing combined with its elephant-like appearance, creating a Pokémon capable of both gentle assistance and overwhelming force depending upon circumstances. The Copperderm Pokémon's ability to carry heavy loads across difficult terrain reflects Peony's own willingness to bear burdens that others might find overwhelming or unacceptable. Peony's Aggron showcases his appreciation for Pokémon whose protective instincts extend beyond simple self-defense to encompass the welfare of entire territories and communities. Its steel and rock typing creating defensive capabilities that can withstand virtually any assault while maintaining the mobility needed to respond to threats wherever they emerge. The Iron Armor Pokémon's territorial nature reflects Peony's own commitment to protecting the areas and people under his care, regardless of personal cost or convenience. His Skarmory soars through battle with the precision of perfectly engineered flight, its steel and flying typing creating a combination of durability and mobility that allows it to serve as both scout and combatant while maintaining the grace that makes steel types so impressive to observe in action. The Armor Bird Pokémon's ability to maintain its metallic feathers through constant care reflects the attention to detail that characterizes Peony's approach to both Pokémon training and family relationships. The Colossal that anchors much of Peony's strategy embodies the transformation of simple materials into sources of tremendous energy through proper cultivation and patient development. Its rock and fire typing creating devastating combinations while maintaining the steady reliability that makes rock types such dependable partners for long-term projects. The Coal Pokémon's ability to provide both heat and power reflects Peony's role as someone who supports others while pursuing his own adventures and research interests. Peony's approach to training integrates his championship experience with his responsibilities as a father and adventurer, understanding that true strength comes from maintaining authentic relationships and pursuing genuine interests, rather than simply conforming to external expectations about appropriate behavior for former champions. His expeditions serve as opportunities to model courage and curiosity for his daughter, while continuing his own growth and development. The Peony Flower connection adds layers of honor and prosperity to his post-championship journey, suggesting that stepping away from official responsibilities can lead to greater personal fulfillment and more meaningful contributions to community welfare than maintaining positions that no longer align with authentic interests and values. His presence creates space for new forms of excellence to emerge, while maintaining the wisdom and experience that come from successfully navigating championship pressures. In the rolling hills and bustling stadiums of Galar, where these modern champions continue their evolution from competitive excellence to broader forms of service and contribution, you can hear the gentle whisper of dandelions, seeds floating on spring breezes, the rhythmic sounds of dojo training exercises echoing through mountain valleys, the soft buzz of bees working in wildflower meadows, and the distant rumble of applause from tournaments where new legends are born beneath ancient skies. Their legacy flows like championship energy spreading throughout the region, carrying the essence of modern innovation balanced with traditional values into every corner of the Pokémon world, where competition and community can strengthen rather than conflict with each other. As the gentle sounds of a region that has learned to celebrate both individual achievement and collective success lull you toward deeper rest, let their stories guide you into sleep as peaceful as championship nights, where every dream holds the promise of triumph and every victory becomes a gift shared with those who made it possible. As we drift through the accumulated wisdom of all these legendary trainers, a beautiful pattern emerges from the tapestry of names and meanings that have guided champions across every region. Each trainer's name carries within it the seeds of their destiny, linguistic connections that seem to predict not just their type specializations, but their approaches to mastery, their relationships with their Pokémon, and their contributions to the evolving understanding of what it means to be truly elite in the world of Pokémon training. The connection between etymology and destiny runs deeper than simple coincidence, weaving through cultural traditions and linguistic evolution in ways that suggest the universe itself participates in shaping the stories of those destined for greatness. Lorelei's name carried ancient Germanic water songs, centuries before she mastered ice types along mountain streams. Bruno's protective strength was encoded in his name, long before he stood guard as the first Elite Four member. These patterns repeat across every region, creating a symphony of meaning that connects individual achievement to broader currents of human culture and natural harmony. Consider how the names themselves reflect the evolution of Elite Four philosophy across generations and regions. The original Kanto masters carried names that were direct and fundamental, reflecting elemental forces and basic human qualities like strength, wisdom, and nobility. Bruno meant protector. Lance carried the weapon of knights. Agatha embodied ancient mysteries, and Lorelei sang with water's voice. These foundational names established templates that would influence every subsequent generation of Elite Four members. As the league system expanded into Johto, the names became more nuanced, reflecting deeper psychological and spiritual dimensions of mastery. Will represented mental discipline. Karen embodied the duality of beauty and darkness, while Koga's transformation from gym leader to Elite Four member demonstrated how names could evolve to encompass broader meanings as trainers grew in wisdom and responsibility. Owen's maritime masters carried names that flowed like ocean currents, each one reflecting different aspects of the relationship between land and sea that defined their island region. Sydney's punk rebellion, Phoebe's ancient prophecy, Glacia's elemental purity, and Drake's seafaring adventure created a quartet that embodied the dynamic tensions between tradition and innovation that characterize healthy cultural evolution. Sinnoh elevated this naming tradition to mythological levels, where Aaron's enlightenment, Bertha's earthbound joy, Flint's elemental fire, and Lucian's scholarly illumination created connections to cosmic forces and universal principles that transcended regional boundaries. Cynthia's lunar wisdom crowned this generation with astronomical significance, linking Elite Four mastery to celestial mechanics and archaeological understanding. Unova revolutionized naming conventions by embracing complexity and contradiction, where Chantal's literary ghosts, Marshall's martial discipline, Grimsley's fairy tale darkness, and Caitlin's mysterious purity created a new template for Elite Four identity that acknowledged ambiguity and multiple meanings rather than seeking simple, direct connections between name and specialty. Kalos brought artistic refinement to naming traditions, where Malva's rebellious fire, Siebold's culinary excellence, Wickstrom's chivalric honor, and Drosna's ancient wisdom created a renaissance of cultural sophistication that elevated Elite Four membership from simple competitive achievement to comprehensive mastery of multiple disciplines, including art, literature, cooking, and historical scholarship. Alola transformed naming conventions, once again by embracing indigenous wisdom and natural harmony, where Hala's tree strength, Olivia's mineral mysteries, Acerola's supernatural sweetness, and Kahili's aerial precision created connections to Pacific Island traditions that had sustained communities for thousands of years before Pokémon League competition was ever conceived. Galar completed this evolutionary cycle by demonstrating how naming traditions could honor both individual achievement and collaborative success, where Leon's dandelion determination, Mustard's seasoning wisdom, Honey's sweet partnership, and Peony's courageous honor created a new model for championship excellence that emphasized teaching, mentorship, and family relationships alongside competitive prowess. The influence of these naming patterns extends far beyond individual trainers to shape entire cultural approaches to Pokémon training and human Pokémon relationships. Each generation of Elite Four members creates linguistic and conceptual frameworks that influence how subsequent trainers understand their own potential and their relationships with their partners. When Lorelei demonstrated that ice types could embody both beauty and power, she created space for future trainers to explore the aesthetic dimensions of elemental mastery. When Bruno showed that fighting types could be gentle protectors rather than aggressive dominators. He established philosophical foundations that influenced martial arts traditions throughout the Pokémon world. These naming influences ripple outward through regional cultures in ways that continue to shape how new trainers approach their own journeys of discovery and growth. Children growing up in regions with strong Elite Four traditions unconsciously absorb the linguistic patterns and cultural meanings embedded in their champions' names, creating subtle but persistent influences on how they conceptualize strength, beauty, wisdom, and the proper relationships between humans and Pokémonday. The quiet influence these legends have on new generations manifests in countless small ways that collectively transform entire cultural landscapes over time. Young trainers who hear stories about Cynthia's archaeological wisdom become more interested in the historical dimensions of Pokémon research. Those inspired by Wallace's contest mastery begin to see beauty and artistry as legitimate expressions of strength rather than frivolous distractions from serious training. The symbolic meanings woven through these champion stories create narrative templates that help new trainers understand their own journeys in mythological rather than purely practical terms. When aspiring champions learn about Bagon's evolution into Salamence through Lance's patient guidance, they begin to see their own struggles as part of larger patterns of growth and transformation that connect them to universal themes of persistence, faith, and ultimate triumph over seemingly impossible obstacles. Regional variations in naming traditions reflect deeper cultural differences in how various communities understand the relationships between humans, Pokémon, and the natural world. Alolan emphasis on community harmony creates naming patterns that stress cooperation and mutual support, while Galarian focus on competitive excellence generates names that emphasize individual achievement, balanced with social responsibility. These cultural variations in naming conventions create rich opportunities for cross-cultural learning and exchange as trainers travel between regions and encounter different approaches to Elite Four philosophy and Pokémon mastery. A trainer raised with Sinnoh's mythological naming traditions might discover new dimensions of understanding when exposed to Alola's indigenous wisdom or Kalos's artistic refinement. The evolution of naming patterns across generations also reflects broader changes in human society and technology that influence how people relate to Pokémon and natural forces. Early Elite Four names emphasized direct connections to elemental forces and basic human qualities, while more recent naming conventions incorporate complex cultural references and interdisciplinary knowledge that reflects increasing sophistication in human understanding of Pokémon psychology and behavior. Yet, despite these evolutionary changes, certain core themes persist across all regions and generations, creating universal constants that transcend cultural and temporal boundaries. Names consistently reflect relationships between trainers and natural forces, whether through direct elemental connections or more subtle cultural and linguistic associations. The recurring emphasis on protection, wisdom, beauty, and harmony suggests fundamental human values that remain constant despite changing technological and social circumstances. The linguistic archaeology embedded in Elite Four names creates living connections to historical traditions and cultural memories that might otherwise be lost or forgotten in rapidly changing modern societies. When Wickstrom embodies medieval chivalric traditions through his steel-type mastery, he preserves and transmits cultural knowledge that enriches contemporary understanding while honoring ancestral wisdom. These preserved cultural connections serve as bridges between past and future, allowing new generations to learn from accumulated human experience while adapting ancient wisdom to contemporary circumstances and challenges. The Elite Four naming tradition becomes a form of cultural DNA that carries essential information across generational boundaries and helps maintain continuity in human values and understanding. The psychological dimensions of naming influence extend beyond cultural transmission to affect individual identity formation and personal development in ways that shape how trainers understand their own potential and their relationships with their Pokémon partners. When trainers discover connections between their names and their natural affinities or interests, they often experience profound moments of recognition that feel like destiny revealing itself through coincidence. These moments of etymological recognition can serve as powerful motivational forces that help trainers persevere through difficult periods of training and development, providing sense of cosmic support and validation that their struggles serve larger purposes beyond immediate practical goals. The feeling that one's name contains prophecy about future achievement can become self-fulfilling prophecy that generates the confidence and determination needed to achieve seemingly impossible objectives. The collective wisdom embedded in Elite Four naming traditions creates a form of distributed intelligence that extends far beyond what any individual trainer could achieve alone, connecting each person to accumulated knowledge and experience of countless predecessors who faced similar challenges and opportunities. This sense of connection to larger traditions and historical continuity provides psychological stability and cultural grounding that helps trainers maintain perspective during intense competitive pressures. As these naming patterns continue to evolve in response to changing circumstances and new discoveries about Pokémon behavior and capabilities, they serve as living documents that record human progress in understanding the complex relationships between consciousness, language, culture, and natural forces. Each new Elite Four member adds their unique contribution to this ongoing conversation between past wisdom and future possibility. The beauty of this naming tradition lies not in rigid adherence to established patterns, but in the creative synthesis of inherited wisdom with contemporary insight and personal authenticity. The greatest Elite Four members are those who honor the linguistic and cultural meanings embedded in their names, while transcending those limitations to create entirely new possibilities for human Pokémon partnership and mutual understanding. In the eternal halls where all these champions gather in dreams and memory, their names create a symphony of meaning that continues to inspire new generations of trainers to pursue their own forms of excellence, while contributing to the ever-expanding understanding of what it means to share this world with creatures whose capabilities and consciousness complement and enhance human potential in ways that remain mysterious and wonderful despite centuries of study and partnership. As these legendary stories fade into the gentle rhythm of sleep, imagine yourself walking through a hall of fame where all these champions rest peacefully. Their Pokémon sleep beside them, Lorelei's Lapras floating serenely on crystalline waters, Cynthia's Garchomp curled protectively around ancient artifacts, Leon's Charizard's flame burning low and warm like embers in a hearth. The moonlight filters through stained glass windows, each pane telling the story of a different master whose name carried the seeds of their destiny. You can hear the soft breathing of these legendary trainers, their battles won, their legacies secure. Bruno's steady presence anchors the hall like bedrock, while Phoebe's gentle whispers carry conversations with spirits who watch over sleeping champions. Karen's Umbreon pads silently through shadows, its rings glowing softly as Flint's carefully banked fires provide just enough warmth to keep everyone comfortable through the night. In this quiet sanctuary, surrounded by the gentle presence of the world's greatest Pokémon masters, you too can find your rest. Let their wisdom guide you into dreams where you walk alongside legends, where every step takes you deeper into peaceful sleep, cradled by the eternal bond between trainer and Pokémon under starlit skies, where champions are born and legends never truly end.